Welcome to the Vegas Benchwarmer podcast. This is Going Forward on Fourth. As always, I am He Hate Me 702. And this right here is
Jeremy with a G.
And today we have a star-studded cast. We got a man from Drippy Network. We got my man from Midnight Sports Today. And then always we have one of the favorite guests, AC Ice Baby 6, which I have no clue when the fuck he's gonna get his channel back up. But at the same time, we are going to have some fun. We're going to talk about the NFL preview, season preview. We're going to go division by division, talk some shit. If you guys remember, JD and Ice Baby were on this last year, and Ice Baby came up with some very, very good wrong answers. But we're going to go back again with this from here on out. Jeremy, do you have anything you want to discuss before we jump into this? Because we know some of us got some things that we got to do after this.
No, I'm good.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and play the intro, and then we're going to bring them in piece one by one at a time. And then which one can I play? That one. All right, so first, been on the podcast many times. Everybody should know him. He is funny. Please go and follow him on Twitter. The link is in the description. Ice Baby 6. What's up, buddy?
I didn't know I was gonna be first. What's up, man? Chilling. Let's bring the guys in, man. No, my intro is gonna be whack, bro. I'm telling you. Just bring in the other guys.
All right. Coming up next, we got Midnight Sports Today. He has been on the podcast once before. This is our man, Brock. He is a Chargers fan, and he talks about Hawaii a lot. So go and give him a follow, please, on Twitter. Its link is in the description.
Go Chargers.
Let's go ahead and talk.
Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. My name is Brock. I run a sports page, Midnight Sports Today. If you want to check it out, some cool articles on there. I do a podcast as well. Also do a bunch of stuff in college football with a guy named Bill Carroll. So check that stuff out too. I'm excited to talk football. Finally, it's back. Thank goodness. A hole in my heart is finally filled once again.
Right now, college football started too, so we know we're back. And Madden's shitty ass came out, so we know it's football season.
Oh, yeah.
And without further ado, we got the man, the myth, the legend, JD running D Drippy Network or D2 in podcast. I forgot. I got so used to the D Drip because they drip different, and then he changed it up on me, and I was like, oh shit. Go ahead, introduce yourself, tell people where they can find you. The link to his YouTube channel is in the description.
What up, man? I'm JD, man, the original Keghead. I'm one of two Keghead podcast guys. That's why we ended up changing the name because of copyright reasons. They tried to come after us, so we ended up having to change the name. It's all good. We kept our same clientele, but I'm over on the D2N Podcast Network. Still got my normal crew. We getting ready for football season, so I'm excited to be here. You know, as always, I'm a bench warmer too, man. I guess I'm the third bench warmer.
You are. You definitely are. He is also the one that is making our intro. So if you guys do need any type of graphics, please hit my man up and see if he will help you out. He is amazing at that type of stuff. So real quick, just get this out of the way, just real quick. Are the Browns going to trade for Jimmy G, or is it Jimmy G staying in the 49ers?
He's not staying in the 49ers. He's not going to the Browns either. It's too late. It's too late into the season already, and it hasn't even started. I mean, they'd have to get him up to speed and only be for 11 games. They'd have a big issue with money on their hand. Oh, no, that's a horrible situation. If he does get traded, the Browns are – they're losing everybody in 2 years, man. It doesn't even make sense.
Facts.
Anywhere he goes, he's got to catch up to speed. It's too late in the process. That's why I'm thinking the Niners might keep him.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's good insurance for sure because nobody knows what Trey Lance is going to be, even them, I think. So,
and we saw what happened with Kevin Durant. You know, people always say shit, and then they just join back on the same team. So, I mean, without a trade, you can't really release him, can you?
You can release him, but you have to pay him.
Yeah, it would just be dead money hit.
If you release him, he can go with fucking LA.
Yeah, or Seattle.
Yeah.
Fuck Seattle.
They need a quarterback, dude. You see Drew Lock?
They're not gonna win shit. Let them. People need to stop with Seattle's bullshit. They're happy tanking right now. Win shit. You put Jimmy G on that roster, he fucks up their draft position for next year in a quarterback-rich draft. So no,
Shout out to the Falcons.
yeah, they're going with Drew Lock for a damn reason. But I mean, really, the Rams would probably be the team that would pick him up. That's what I'm thinking. They can't release him
Because of Stafford's shoulder?
Yeah, well, yes, and through his injury history.
I guess, man. Yeah, they're riding with Stafford though, but I don't know, man. I don't know where Jimmy G is going. This is honestly the craziest quarterback situation like I can remember, to where it's just like, what does he do? Like what is the answer? There doesn't seem to be one, and then there seems to be far too many answers. So that's a crazy situation for me, especially this late into the process as well.
Jimmy ain't going nowhere, bro.
Yeah, I agree. To me, the dark horse for Jimmy G right now is Miami. And the reason why I say that is because this is only Tua steps on the field and plays like ass, which is not that far from a possibility. You'll have Teddy Bridgewater as a backup, and he knows Mike McDaniel's system very well because he was his OC in San Francisco. He's brought over a bunch of San Francisco guys already. They could do some kind of like Fitzmagic kind of thing. But the Browns, they already don't have enough draft capital because of the Watson trade. I don't see them giving up any more valuable draft picks to go out and get him.
I agree. I don't know. It's hard to say because none of these guys are really who they say they are. And then it's always going to be you don't know who's going to get hurt. So it could end up being a year of backups again. And then that sucks for everybody because then you got guys named like, what is it, Colt McCoy, that's like 150 years old, but still like gets a shot every so often to play. And there's no fanfare, and people don't come to the games. It's just it's a whole deal. Like, I'm tired of these guys. Like, stay healthy, all right?
You go out there and run around, bro.
Yeah. They're taking guys out of like Chipotle and Panera. They're like, hey, can you play? Like, you come on in, let's go.
That's funny.
I don't know. I don't have time for this.
I don't think I agree. I don't think the Browns are going to trade him because they'll be paying too much in quarterback salary. They already have Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett, and they still have somebody else on their thing. I ultimately think if I'm the Niners, I'm going to keep him and use him as an insurance. Damn what all the other old heads said. You're still betting on a guy that's played one game in 2 years. Yeah. And he played at a lot lesser of a school. Not saying that he's going to be horrible, but it's going to take him a lot longer to catch up to game speed, and game speed is not practice. So I definitely think that they could do that. I don't see the Tua thing. I wouldn't see as a problem because now if Teddy Bridgewater was starting, then I would believe more into it because whoever backs up Teddy Bridgewater automatically becomes halfway decent. It seems like for some ungodly known reason. Baker Mayfield, fucking Drew Lock was starting before him, though. That doesn't count.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Y'all Lock alone, man. I like him. I don't know why.
So we're never going to say what the
we
deal is with him?
We don't know either.
Yeah.
He's the bridesmaid.
You're right. He is. He's 100%. You're 100% on that.
He's that guy you date before. He's the guy you date before you get married. Like, he's gotten, like, all his ex-girlfriends are married, and he's, like, the one that's sitting around being single. He's that dude.
He's gone to every single bachelorette party in the last 20 years and never got one. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. You know the person you outgrow during your early dating stages? That is Drew Lock.
Jeremy, you got anything to say on this before we move into divisions?
I mean, could he go to the Panthers?
No, they got Baker.
Yeah, they got Darnold and Baker on their 5-year deals. I don't see that happening.
That would be the worst quarterback room, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Darnold signed Cam Newton just to make it even more spicy.
Yeah, but Darnold just got injured.
Hey, there was no news about that.
There was very little. That's the problem. They're still paying a lot for Darnold. I think they're paying him, what, $19 million?
That's their fault. That was a stupid move. I don't even understand why they took that jump. Like, just take a year off. You know Christian McCaffrey's going to get hurt. Just take the year off, bro. Chill. Get somebody this year. They could have got Russ or something, man. They were tripping with that.
Matt Rule is just praying to keep his job, so he's pulling out all the stops to figure a way to somehow get to 6 wins and maybe parlay it into a 4th year. That's all.
I got the Panthers. I got the Panthers taking the NFC South this year. So.
Oh, good lord.
That's my first one. I got another one for y'all too.
Okay. We're gonna start. Whoa. Back up. I gotta get on Twitch real quick. I gotta remember. Back to fuck up. So we'll start there. We'll start with the NFC South. Okay. NFC South. You said you have the Panthers taking the NFC South?
Yeah, bro.
This is the with of course Christian McCaffrey staying healthy.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think I've already took that into account. I'm gonna give them 6 good games. But yeah, I do got the Panthers taking it. I think I'm gonna I don't say this. I said this once like 6 years ago, and I'm gonna say it out loud. Yeah, this is Tom Brady's year. This is his downfall year for sure. And if that happens, I don't see the Bucs doing anything. I see the Falcons finishing above them if Tom Brady's not there. And the Saints, what are they doing? What is even going on there? It's not strong enough to win the South.
If the Bucs keep going the way they're going, they're gonna have a fucking tight end as their center.
That too, man. That too. The Bucs got some issues over there, man. And then you're relying on Leonard Fournette, Julio Jones, Russell Gage. I mean, come on. This is if you look at those bones, if Tom Brady is not there to hold it together, dude, it's fumbled. He's already missed all of the preseason. He's missed all of training camp. So what are the Bucs gonna do if Tom Brady's not there? I don't know. That's my prediction, man. Straight up, the Panthers are taking the NFC South. And that's as a Falcons fan.
That was
so quiet. So quiet, man. What's up, guys? You guys ain't ready.
That analysis made me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
I'm sad, bro. I'm a sad Falcons fan. I can't give it to the Bucs. Disrespectful. It's crazy. They got Julio Jones and Tom Brady.
I mean, all I'm saying is, man, like, first off, number one, let me just throw this out there. The Carolina Panthers are notorious for winning like the first 3 games and then falling off the face of the map. So even if they come out blazing, Christian McCaffrey is going to play for 4 games, maybe. Dude he hasn't played a whole season this entire time. He's worse than damn Saquon Barkley. So I'm going to put them in this scenario where even if he starts there and we say, okay, they're going to be great with Baker Mayfield. Let's say they do. Let's say they're great with Baker Mayfield. They're not winning shit. Like, stop saying that. Somehow, some way, New Orleans will pull it out. Somehow, some way. They got famous Jameis. They're going to do something. Like, we don't know what they're doing. He's going to throw probably 46 touchdowns and 76 interceptions. But it doesn't matter because he's going to have those 46 touchdowns. And the rest of his division is ass cheeks. So it does not matter. So, like, right now, what you're saying is completely it's asinine, but not in a bad way. It's just like, but thinking that Carolina Panthers will do anything other than be Carolina Panthers. Like, I live here. Like, I live here now. And I'm telling you, they're excited about Baker Mayfield, but they're excited about the commercials. So, like,
commercials will be good.
The commercials will be good. The team will be ass. But
hey, I'm telling you, man. I can't wait for next year when y'all are like, finally, you said something right. Like, can't believe you called the Panthers. Yeah, I'm serious, man.
Brock, go ahead. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. What? The Panthers are the worst team in the division. Like, there's first of all, they have the worst coaching staff in all of football. They have the worst front office again in all of football. Iko Mekwonu definitely looks a very promising left tackle. Of course, Chuba Hubbard looks like a promising running back. A solid wide receiver 1 in DJ Moore. And then you got Robbie, sometimes I don't know how to use my hands, Anderson, as your wide receiver number 2. You have Baker. Let me miss the wide open guy for the dude in triple coverage.
He's a winner though.
Where? But I just can't. I like Baker Mayfield, but realistically, that roster has so many holes in it. He's not enough to plug it, right? Tampa Bay has Julio Jones, who's definitely coming. All reports are saying he's having a resurgent year. Tom Brady's won Super Bowls at rosters that weren't even that good. They signed Akeem Hicks. They still have Vita Vea. They still have Shaq Barrett on that defensive line. They still have a very young secondary. And the Saints have arguably one of the best rosters in all of football. The best wide receiver room with Michael
Their
Thomas,
defense is great.
Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, a receiver. I was very high on coming out of the draft, being one of the best route runners, in his class. And he's going to be playing the slot as well. A 1-2 running back combo with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram to give you the finesse and the power. Jameis was balling before he tore his ACL. And maybe having a torn ACL will make him stay in the pocket more and start running like a donkey. Dude, remember the Bucs game? He did the fake pitch 20 yards up the field. Okay, we need to stop that. The coaching staff is basically the same as it was before without Sean Payton. The defense is still phenomenal, and that's why I just even Atlanta has a lot going for it. AJ Terrell, Casey Hayward.
Hey, Desmond Ridder in the preseason, bro.
He just wanted us to say that shit about Atlanta. Like, you know what?
No.
He doesn't say good things about Atlanta.
He started talking shit about
Atlanta stuff. Cordell Patterson, Arthur Smith, who won almost seven games last year with a completed roster.
With a horrible, worse roster. You're right. Keep going.
Yeah. But no, I'm just saying it's gonna be between Bucks and New Orleans, and there's no Carolina in this equation at all.
All right, look. So look. Let me defend myself here.
You took the bait.
Let me defend myself here. The reason I'm putting all of this on Tom Brady. This whole entire division goes around Tom Brady and what happens to him. I said I think it's his down year this year. This year he should have retired. He should have retired. Dude, the Saints, they're not gonna know how to put it together. They couldn't do it last year.
You went from Brady.
The starting quarterback got hurt.
Exactly. What is he gonna do this year?
How could Baker, who could not perform with a strong running game, a strong defense, a strong offensive line, is going to perform without a strong running game because we know Christian McCaffrey is going to get injured?
You think
offensive line? There's no thinking. It's like based off of recent history. There's two things for sure.
Jameis Winston,
Christian McCaffrey, and Saquon Barkley will be injured by week 6, so do not draft them in your fantasy draft. So, and then Robbie Anderson didn't even fucking want him. He said no. He picked Sam Darnold over fucking Baker.
How many balls is he catching anyways?
Bro, the Panthers picked the interior O-line from Walmart. Wait.
Yo, can I throw this out there real quick? Nobody's talking about this. A couple years ago, Jameis Winston did something that he's iconic for. He took the W and he tried to eat it in his mouth. Like, is no one going to mention that? Like, any man that is crazy enough to try to eat the W is going to be destined for greatness at some point.
Oh, man.
Maybe not this year or next year.
We know he got LASIK surgery, okay? So the motherfucker can now see.
All right.
Him not being able to see goes all the way back to him stealing them damn crab legs. He literally just couldn't see the register. He was looking for it and just walked outside. So the 30 for 30 interceptions and touchdowns. I said a while ago, I think the Saints are going to win the division. I agree that Tom Brady's going to take some step backs. I do. At fucking some point in time, Father Time has to show up and whoop his motherfucking ass. Okay,
he's like 50.
We've been told Father Time is undefeated, not with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's been uppercutting the fuck out of Father Time for the last 6 years.
No, it's got to stop. That's got to stop.
It's got you. So I got the Saints. I say the Saints. I do not trust. There is a couple reasons. I don't trust anybody in Carolina. I don't trust Baker. I don't trust the front office that traded for Sam Darnold and then traded for Baker. I don't trust either one of them. After letting go of Cam Newton, I don't trust you guys. I don't trust their offensive line. I don't even know if I trust their defense because if I'm on their defense and I see Baker on the other side, just give up. We're gonna fucking lose. Just fuck them.
Go home.
I don't want to hear the shit that he's healthy. I saw everything I needed to know about Baker this past summer. Everything I needed to know about him. Most bitch-made fucking person I may have ever seen in my life. Nope, I don't want to hear shit about it. He did an interview on a couch for the first 5 minutes. They said, you're going to show some balls. Shut the fuck up. The dude had a mullet. He looked like he was in a trailer park with Joe Dirt sitting in a fucking mansion. Nope, I don't need to know anything else about Baker. So, Baker, nope, Carolina. I say Carolina finishes 4th. I have the Bucks fading off at the end with the Saints winning. And I don't know what the fuck's going to happen with Atlanta because I don't know if they want to win or they want to lose. I just don't know.
They want to be right in the middle.
I think they want to
I
win.
don't
They're
know.
going to surprise.
Honestly, like I don't, because they're selling Mariota like he's the next coming of Jesus. And if you
They're
say
looking good.
so, but Jeremy will tell you Mariota is good.
He's
He's
hurt.
also a Raiders fan, and he's also loves Hawaii. So
All right, I'll give him 6 wins. I'll give him 6 wins. I'll give him 6 games before Raiders in there starting. But dude, what if I would have said last year that the Bengals were going to win the AFC North? You guys would have given me the same arguments. Oh, that's crazy. Everybody was
Right.
on the Bengals.
But
With the
I'm a Steelers
girl
fan.
coming back from injury.
Honestly, I don't know if I would have given you the same arguments because
Oh,
you would have said a healthy Joe Burrow, somebody
versus Lamar Jackson, bro.
wait, amazing defense, offensive weapons that were extremely good, and it would be a down Steelers year. Nobody really trusts
down.
Lamar. Nobody trusts Lamar. I don't give a fuck.
I did say that. I do remember saying that about the Steelers.
And then who the fuck gave a fuck about Baker Mayfield?
You're
Like,
right. I mean, the Browns.
had him sold, but fuck that. Real people knew he wasn't going to.
Last year, the Browns were for like a Super Bowl contender, in the majority of people's eyes, the Browns were a Super Bowl contender last year. The Ravens were a Super Bowl contender last year, bro. You guys are all forgetting this. Y'all are forgetting the predictions, like from ESPN, NFL analysis. Like they were big
We
on
don't
that.
listen to them damn
Anybody
people.
listen to them?
Hey, look,
Listen
I'm
to
just
them,
saying that was
man.
the consensus. That was the consensus.
The fucking they're still talking about the Lakers right now. Week 1 of NFL, I guarantee you, Sunday night on SportsCenter, Lakers information will come out. Nobody pays attention to ESPN.
LeBron James in his
Right.
56th career season.
But
Like, no one
LeBron
gives a shit.
James-
I'll be here next year talking about what happened with the Panthers, bro, and their first round elimination.
Yeah, but the
Can we
head
move
of the
past
Browns was when OBJ got traded there. Everyone thought they were immediately the division favorites. Like,
I did not
they've been
think the
overhyping
Browns
them for
were
years.
good. I thought the Browns got lucky. I thought they got lucky because they sucked my whole life. My whole
Right.
life. You can't go from being sucky your whole life getting fluky in the fucking playoffs because Ben Roethlisberger went 11-0 and just decided to turn old in the middle of the fucking season. And they can't beat fucking Chad Henning in the playoffs. I mean, granted, I know that they had to leave, but stop it. Motherfucker did it for no. I thought they were that 1 year. The Bengals might be that 1 year wonder. I know people are gonna get mad at me, but they might be.
All right,
Every so often. NFC.
Falcons. NFC East, let's do it. I love this division more.
All right, so Brock, what do you think? Let's go. You got the technical breakdown. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna kick it off with I think the winner of the NFC East is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, and the reason why I say that is because there hasn't been a repeat winner in that division for almost 20 years, and I don't see that changing. Dallas lost way too much, and Philadelphia gained way too much. Getting Jordan Davis in the first round was a huge boost to a defensive line that's still dominant with aging but still good Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. They have a really good pass rusher in Josh Sweat, who they signed to a long-term deal. They still have Derek Barnett, who isn't the greatest, but as a second option, you can't really complain about him. You have Nakobe Dean, you got in the third. I thought he was LB1. I had him high in the draft as well. He's looking like he's going to be the next kind of step up. Great secondary. But the biggest thing was getting A.J. Brown. I don't know why Tennessee got rid of him. That dude is a monster. He is an athletic freak, a dog, a guy that can go out and catch any pass, run all the routes in the route tree, do everything on the field. Alongside the fact you still have a very dominant O-line, love dancing, right? You added Cam Jurgens to that. You still got Jason Kelsey. You signed Mailata to a long-term deal. Lane Johnson, he's still there, so he's providing great depth. Landon Dickerson, so on and so forth. Jalen Hurts, not the greatest passer of the football. We saw what he did at Alabama. We saw what he did at Oklahoma, and we see the potential in the NFL. If he puts it together just a little bit, they will be Super Bowl contenders. But with the fact that Washington has Carson Wentz, INT City, with the fact that Dallas is not going to have a true second wide receiver 2 for a long time, and they just lost Tyron Smith, and they don't have a backup at left tackle. I just don't, and the Giants are the Giants. I just don't see a Philadelphia losing that division, especially building on the fact that they made the playoffs last year.
Katie, go.
Oh yeah,
Bam. So as a resident Steegle fan, I want you guys to know
Steele.
that I told you guys that the Eagles are going to be the shit. Nobody wanted to believe me. I said 11 wins. They got 10. So that's one, and everybody laughed at me. JD, you're stupid. You're crazy. You know what you're talking about. Jalen Hurts can't do anything. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? He can. And so just to throw it out there, they just gave him more weapons. Devontae Smith no longer has to be the number one receiver. So that means he's not getting doubled anymore. You still got Goddard. They got rid of J.J. Ortega-Whiteside. That dude's like an expensive paperweight. Now Sanders is still trash can juice, but they got Kenny Gainwell, and Kenny Gainwell is the man. So Jordan Davis and Cox, if you put them in at the same time, it's like a really, really big freeway that you blocked off with like 2 transfer trucks. So nobody be running on them. And then on top of it, they still got Darius Slay. They went out and got a linebacker in the Kobe Dean, which they got for basically pennies because he was like that ran in the second round. If we can keep going, we can keep going. But all I'm telling you is now that this is the prove year for Jalen Hurts. And if I know anything about Jalen Hurts, he's gotten better and better and better every year. If you look at him from Alabama time to the time he was at Oklahoma, he said he couldn't throw 5 yards. At Oklahoma, he almost led the league in passing in Oklahoma. He gets to the Philadelphia Eagles. They say Carson Wentz is going to play over him by half the season. He's no longer starting. Carson Wentz is in the toilet bowl somewhere in the Colts looking for his arm and his confidence like a league of their own. So now we're all like, now we're just kind of like trying to figure out how things are going. Now we got Jalen Hurts. We give him more weapons. You know, people that are from Delco are now like screaming, you know, they're helping him more than they help Carson Wentz. Well, guess what? Carson Wentz, the ginger fuck, is now somewhere looking for some real estate in Washington, and they don't even want him. Like he's just there. So the Eagles win this division with ease. The Cowboys, I love watching their suffering because as a Steelers fan and an Eagles fan, I love seeing them lose. So this is great for me. This is great news. You know what I'm saying? Go Birds.
Go Birds, certainly.
Go ahead.
You say me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, they filled it out, dude. It's Eagles, the trenches, straight up. Like Dallas is hurting. Look at the Eagles' offensive line. Look at the Eagles' defensive line. They win that straight off of that. No one in that division can compete with what they have going on there. Kelsey's getting old, but they already brought in his replacement. I mean, they are fantastic at drafting in the trenches. I do not understand how they're doing it, and I don't understand why they don't get more credit. They definitely deserve it. Cowboys aren't doing anything. It's been, 27 years since they could even budge towards the playoffs. That's how old I am, bro. Like, I've never seen it in my life. I've lived in Texas my entire life. I'm still waiting to see what all these Cowboys fans are so excited about to wear their jerseys every Sunday to get free groceries from Albertsons. I just don't get it, man. Yeah, there's no competition there. Carson Wentz to the Washington Red football. The Washington Spurs, he's going. What are they going to do? Nothing. I'll tell you right now. I'm not high on Terry McLaurin. Very high on Jalen Hurts. Higher than I am on Baker Mayfield. Jalen Hurts will be on my fantasy team. Baker Mayfield will be in the waivers. So, yeah, it's not a competition. The Eagles win it easily. 11 games, easy. The NFC's weak. Give them 12.
Bro, you want to hear something funny about Albertsons in Texas? The one time I was in Dallas, I passed the Albertsons and the Marcus Ware was doing an autograph signing there.
Yeah, bro, it's all the time, bro.
Bro, they love
Tashard Choice used to do it like every day, bro.
This is crazy.
I was gonna say the Eagles, but all of you guys said the Eagles, so I gotta go in a complete different direction.
You don't have to be wrong.
How?
Just to make a content. Like, don't do that.
No, the problem I have is like the more you guys talk, the more I just realized I was like, this is that hype train that everybody's talking about that at some point in time hits a fucking wall. And we've seen this consistently. The Eagles are that new hype train. They were the Browns were the new hype train the year before, where they didn't really accomplish shit in the playoffs, but they did. So now they're taking that new step. Every year you see a new hype train where they should take a new step and they're supposedly doing things that they're supposed to do. As far as trading for A.J. Brown or trading away A.J. Brown, I think that's going to become a new normal. I think that's going to become very similar to what happened with running backs, where receivers are getting paid way too much fucking money for some teams, and they feel that they can replace them with multiple receivers for cheaper amount of money, depending on what your quarterback is. I think with a person like Jalen Hurts, that helps out tremendously because he's still young, giving him a number one threat that is absolutely a beast. But at the same time, not saying he's not good, but let's see what happens when you don't have a play action fake from Derrick Henry. That's all I'm saying. That everybody knows if you have a beast, you have to put 8 in the box, you're wide open, you're single coverage, there's rarely a safety over top. That's all I'm saying.
Like he was balling out when Henry went out.
But Vegas. But so
they went downhill. They still won, but they sucked. They weren't whooping everybody's ass.
The same way you're talking about.
They lost in the first round of the playoffs.
He walked into LA the week he got hurt and smashed the Rams.
Nobody gives a fuck about that.
Adrian Peterson ran for a touchdown. He couldn't even run.
Are you telling me they were anywhere near the same team without Derrick Henry?
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Stop it right now.
How do you have the record?
You can't take off 2,000 rush by being worse fucking team. What is wrong with
What is wrong with me?
What is wrong with you?
First of all, Skip Bayless. All right.
Okay, Come on now, Skip. Yeah,
exactly.
Come on now, Skip.
There's no way they got worse and still kept the number one seed in a division that had in a conference that had Kansas City. They found more ways to win, and part of the reason was because AJ Brown was on the field.
Kansas City didn't lose another game. Yes, and they still were losing games.
Yeah, and Tennessee still the number one seed.
Okay, so what week did they go out? They went out the week that they went to the Rams, right?
Yeah, so the week he goes out, they go out to LA, smash the Rams.
They beat the shit out of the Rams.
They beat shit out of them. It got so bad
they
gave Adrian Peterson carries to be
Time out. After that, they played the Saints, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Steelers, the Dolphins, and the Texans again.
Oh, that's an easier schedule.
2 teams that were in the playoffs, the 49ers and the Patriots. How did they keep winning? They beat up on shitty ass fucking teams. That's how they kept fucking winning.
Good point. I mean, that's a good point. I don't agree with the AJ Brown take, but that's a good point.
The Texans, the Saints, the Jaguars, the Texans again. Dolphins, you can say what they want to say. They had 10 wins, but still. So I'll give you, and the Steelers. I'll give you the Texans.
The Steelers made it to the playoffs. Watch them out.
The 49ers and the Patriots. The what?
Steelers made it to the playoffs. Watch them out. Watch them out. Watch them out.
Stop right now.
With that trash team.
Okay. But what other offensive did they have besides AJ Brown? Julio was hurt for majority of the season or not playing well.
Julio hasn't played well forever. That wasn't a mistake. That wasn't like a minus. They added him for extra coverage, and he didn't do shit. So it was like
exactly. So AJ Brown said, "Put it on me."
AJ Brown didn't put shit on me. Tannehill still was fucking shitty. He still got fucking Tannehill. And if AJ Brown put it on him, why the fuck did they trade him? They literally traded him
because they front office his ass and they don't want to pay $100 million.
Because he's not that damn good. He's not that important. Not that important to the team's success. Not that important to the team's success.
I will say he does have injury issues as well. If you want to throw that in there, I haven't heard that one. He does have an injury history, which could keep him on the sidelines like a Julio Jones as well. But I'm big on Devontae Smith this year too. Eagles for the NFC.
Smith.
At the end of the
stop
day,
being weird.
You can't argue against the Eagles this year in that division. If they were in another division, sure.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to walk through the division. There's not. I couldn't even come up with a team while I was trying to fucking parlay.
Then why did you do that?
I was trying to come up with something at some point in time that made sense.
Trying to get that Fox Sports deal.
Because I think AJ Brown is good for the Eagles. I think he's a great addition. I think Devontae Smith is going to completely take another step.
Hold on, wait a minute. So you just got my blood pressure boiling for absolutely no reason?
AJ Brown is good for the Eagles. I don't think for the Titans it's that big of a deal losing him. I don't.
What?
I don't think it's that big of a deal losing him.
We'll get to the FC South.
They'll still win that shitty ass fucking division. They're not winning Who's going to beat them in that division?
All right, let's get there. Let's wait till we get there. Because I got some contrarian things.
Let's wait. But the reason.
All right, yes, wait. But for the Eagles, AJ Brown is great. They're going to double AJ Brown. and Devontae Smith is going to go off. I think
That was
it's
Goddard. No one said that was Goddard this whole time.
I'll take Goddard.
Goddard
Dude,
too,
oh
yeah.
my God.
Also Miles Sanders is going to have a relatively good year because
He's not.
Kenny Gainwell.
Week 3.
Just get on Kenny Gainwell now. Just get on the Kenny Gainwell train now.
Brown is very good for Jalen Hurts. Like I said, I just don't think he's that great.
I agree. I think they're going to use Miles Sanders more in the pass game. He's not going to have 1,000.
Well, even then, if you have if you have a speedster, you have two of them. You have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. That means you can't put 8 in the box. You have to have safeties over top. Miles Sanders is going to be running on fucking 5 and 6 people. It's literally going to be
Kenny Gainwell, yeah. I love hearing you talk up Miles Sanders, bro.
You have to have your linebacker cover Goddard. So you're literally going to have 7 versus fucking 6.
Wait a
He's gonna
minute.
make one dude miss.
Why are you bigging up the guy who backed up Saquon Barkley, who can't even stay healthy long enough to even get a commercial recorded? Like, get the hell out of here, bro. Like, Miles Sanders is fucking trash can you.
No. Hey, we draft tomorrow. Keep talking up Miles Sanders. Talk up Miles Sanders. We draft tomorrow.
Watch it. Whoever their running back is, whether it's Miles Sanders or whoever the fuck they pick up on him, it's
gaming.
Better running
It's Miles Sanders. It's Miles Sanders. Just we draft tomorrow. It's all Miles Sanders. Don't even say KG's name again. Don't even say KG's name again, bro. Come on, I need him in the 10th. I need him in the 10th.
Jeremy, you got anything to say about the Eagles winning the South, winning the NFC East?
He's doing like homework over there or something. Like, he ain't even paying us no mind.
Look,
that's why he was so happy.
That's why. Look, I'm glad when y'all come on.
I'll be listening to the ones with him and Eric, and he's like, yeah. I wish somebody else was here to talk, man.
I'm here, so I don't get fined. But
yeah, the Raiders Nation, baby.
Let's get into AFC South since we already jumped into that.
I don't feel be loved on group projects.
Hey, homie, I got a roll, man. I appreciate y'all. I got to deal with my badass team.
You have fun, buddy.
I got the Jags winning this division. Just so you know, before you leave, I got the Jags taking this division just for you leave, bro.
I'm down with Trevor Lawrence. Let's go, Clemson.
Hey, okay.
Hey,
I thought that was gonna be my contrarian one.
Be safe, buddy. Be safe.
All right, brother.
All right, so AFC South. Let's go. What we got? Who wants to start it off? Fuck it. Titans are gonna win the division. Okay, Titans are still gonna win the fucking division. Look, the Colts. I would love, and I said the Colts versus the Saints, just throwing some shit out. When somebody asked me about a Super Bowl pick, I'm like, I would love for that pick to happen. The Saints could win that division. They have a great defense. As long as Jameis Winston doesn't turn the ball over and can become a ball manager, that'd be extremely good. And the Colts seem like a perfect story like Matthew Stafford last year. Seems like a very, very good story. But honestly, I still can't go against the Titans. They're going to have Derrick Henry. They're going to have that play action. They're going to have another receiver that comes out of nowhere that just becomes extremely good. And because you're just going to run a play action. It's extremely easy to have two receivers get – Corey Davis was good, and then he went to what, the Jets? And nobody's heard of that motherfucker ever since then. Do you see my point? Do you know how many times a receiver has left a great scenario and they were thought of as a shit and they're not as good? Fucking look at every Patriots receiver besides Randy Moss. Every single one of them. They show up with the – So with A.J. Brown, I think – it's not that big of a deal for them to lose him because they have Derrick fucking Henry, and you can't stack 8 and you have to stack 8 in the box. So literally, you're most likely one-on-one coverage. Maybe you have a safety over top, and they got to pick which side they're going to go to. And that's why Tannehill is a shitty ass quarterback. We all fucking know this. We saw this last year in the playoffs. He's a shitty fucking quarterback, but I don't know. Last year, Tannehill was the next coming of the fucking MVP. Oh, Tannehill sucked in Miami. It was Adam Gase, and now he plays with the Titans, and he's good. No, because Derrick Henry's there. And Derrick Henry became the beast because they used him more. A play-action fake is amazing. When you have somebody like that. Carson Wentz had a chance to win a playoff game, make the playoffs last year. Why? Because of fucking Jonathan Taylor. Had nothing to do with how good Carson Wentz was. Because of fucking Jonathan Taylor. It's not like any of these quarterbacks are on the levels of your top echelon quarterbacks. So I think I will win the division. I think they will definitely make the playoffs. I think you're going to have 1-2. I think you'll have 2 teams. I love to say the Jaguars will win this division, but that's just too huge of a step for me. I think they're going to progress forward, and they're in a great direction. But I have to still see it on the field. Preseason doesn't fucking matter to me. Training camp doesn't matter to me. I see when they play the games. So seeing that they could take a giant step forward, win a couple more games than they won last year isn't saying something bad. I just think the Colts and the Titans are going to walk, and the Texans are fuck Davis Mills. If somebody fucking brings his ass up, no, fuck him. I'm so fucking tired of the internet making piece of shit fucking people good.
It's not the internet. It's his play on the field.
What fucking play?
What do you mean? He was like the best performing rookie quarterback last year.
Come on.
Okay, name the rookie quarterbacks last year.
Trevor
Justin
Lawrence,
Fields.
Justin
Okay.
Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones,
Boom.
and
Okay.
who's the other one? Who's the other?
Davis
first round
Mills.
pick?
Trevor
No,
Lawrence.
wasn't that another first round pick?
Trevor
No,
Lawrence.
Kyle Trask is I believe who you're thinking of.
Trevor Lawrence. You didn't say Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he did. That
I
was
did.
He
So
did.
Trevor, Zach, Justin Fields. No, Trey Lance. That was the other one, but he didn't play.
Trevor, Zach, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones.
And Davis Mills outplayed all of them.
No, it doesn't matter. He was on the shittiest fucking team.
If Davis Mills was on the Patriots last year, Patriots win the division over the Bills
easily.
easily.
And vice versa.
Don't give me that look.
But dude, yeah, he's good. He's good, man. That you're contrarian on this one. Not even me, bro.
How many games did the Texans win last year?
Like 4 or something like that.
3, 4, yeah.
Were they in the same division as the Colts and the Jaguars?
Yeah.
So they were in the same shitty ass division as those shitty ass fucking teams. And by the way, they had a
The
last
Colts
place.
were not a shitty ass team.
Whoa. They had a last place schedule. So every team outside of the division that they played was last place, and they came up with 4 wins. And we're talking about this piece of shit quarterback that he's fucking good.
Yeah, because you could have been one player of the defense for Houston last year.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give 2 fucks about that shit. I don't care. We're giving him credit for a shitty fucking team. We're literally getting. Are they getting better? Did they get better as a team?
He got way better. What you
The
mean?
team got better.
Yeah.
Wait, who got better?
They beat
Did
the
team get better?
Jaguars.
Did the team get better this year?
Houston? Absolutely.
Yeah. How?
What you mean? How they got Derek Stingley Jr., Thomas Booker on the D line. Davis Mills took a second step under Pep Hamilton.
How do we know he took? How do we know he took a second step? We haven't seen him fucking play. The last time we seen him play, he was getting his ass whooped and had to throw for tons of fucking yards because they fucking sucked. No!
They beat-
Oh yes.
They beat the Titans. They beat the Titans and the Chargers last year.
Who gives a fuck? Beating the Chargers is something special.
Yeah, man.
Wait, really?
Herbert's special, yeah.
I'm not saying Herbert's not, but
The only thing he's special for is
you're
wishing for a
literally
fucking
saying
tie.
they beat the Chargers like they're a fucking playoff team. They didn't make the fucking playoffs. So how is that special? We
I mean,
take
if
14
the
out
Chargers
of 32
beat Houston,
fucking teams. They
If
were
the Chargers
part
beat
of the
Houston,
worst.
they would have been in.
If what?
If the Chargers had beaten Houston, they would have been in because they would have
Hey,
beat
if the
them.
Chargers could have fucking closed it out against the Raiders, they would have fucking been in too. We could talk a lot of what if shits, but they're still not a playoff team.
You're right.
That's not. When's the last time the Chargers were in the playoffs? Has Justin Herbert been in the playoffs?
No, but it's
So when
been
we're
2
saying
years.
Houston beat the Chargers because they got overlooked by the Chargers, that's some fucking key semblance. So they beat the Chargers and the Titans. Who are their other fucking wins?
The Jaguars both times.
No shit. They're gonna. No
They
shit.
had
they're
they
gonna
literally
win
had
every
a
game.
bottom 5 NFL roster. A coach,
What?
Yeah.
a head coach that Steve Smith called an idiot.
Who?
Like, what did
So
we
we're
really
gonna
expect
give
from
them credit. We're gonna give them credit for beating the Jaguars, who decided to start Tim Tebow.
No. We're giving Davis Mills credit for being a decent quarterback.
He's
For
not
rising above the trash that he was put.
Yeah.
being a decent quarterback. I'm acceptable with. But the fucking talk that is coming about him, he led all rookies. It doesn't fucking matter. He didn't win shit.
Hey, we'll see this year. We'll see this year for sure.
We'll see this year when they have who the fuck knew who Davis Mills was? Let me get this straight. If you're a defensive coordinator
Yeah.
coming to play the Texans, and the quarterback's name is generic random character Davis Mills, okay? Are you fucking giving a fuck? Are you staying up all night going, oh shit, dog, we're playing the Texans and we got fucking the Mill? No, you're taking a week off. Your whole defense gives 2 fucks. So
Good.
The fact that he has the most yards or played better than any other rookie quarterback on a shitty team when no team ever took them serious means absolutely shit to me. That's like saying, oh, Kevin Love is I can't even say it. That's a totally different thing. It's a stat sheet stuffer. It means nothing. He's putting up stats on a bad team that do not translate to wins. When they translate to wins, I'll talk shit about something. But they're not translating to wins anytime soon. Anytime soon. If the Jaguars are getting better and the Colts are going to win this division and the Titans are going anywhere anytime soon, when the fuck are the Texans getting better?
The Texans have already gotten there. Not only
they have it, we don't on paper. On paper.
You got Dirk Staley Jr. You still have Larry Tunsil at left tackle. You just got Kenyon Green from Texas A&M. You put him at guard. You still have Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver. I'm not saying they're going to be a phenomenal team, but they're going to surprise a lot of people. In the preseason, Lovie Smith's defense has been fucking explosive. They've been firing off the line. And guess what? You can't run the ball. Yeah, they're looking like that 06 kind of Bears defense. I'm not saying they're at level because of the personnel that they have, but the heart that they're playing with.
Do you see this fucking bullshit? The 06 Bears defense with Brian Urlacher? Shut the fuck up!
I'm saying they're playing with that intensity. They're playing with that heart. They're playing with that desire to win.
In preseason, with most guys that aren't even going to be on the fucking team and are working for their job.
Yeah, but that's going to force Tannehill to throw the ball because Henry's not going to have any space to run it.
You named 3 rookies. And we've never seen them play. So on paper, they've gotten better. Laramie Tunsil was there last year and they sucked. Laramie Tunsil was there the year before and they sucked. Brandon Cooks was there last year and they sucked. He was there the year before and they fucking sucked. Brandon Cooks has played for 17 fucking different teams, okay? He gets traded all the fucking time. He was drafted by the Saints, played with Tom Brady, played with Jared Goff. Now he's with the fucking – he's played with more quarterbacks than any other fucking receiver that is supposed to be good. Y'all said Brandon Cooks. Like, Brandon Cooks, he's still there. No shit, because they suck. If they would trade his ass.
I'm loving your takes. I'm loving your takes with our draft tomorrow. I'm loving what I'm hearing, brother. I promise.
Dude, I hope you draft Davis Mills. I hope you draft Davis Mills.
I said he's a decent quarterback. I would never put him on my team, man.
Decent quarterback, yes, I agree. But we're not talking about a decent quarterback. He is the next coming of something. Mac Jones, he has more yards than Mac Jones, but did Mac Jones win? If you put him on the Patriots, they would have beat the Bills. Stop it. Josh Allen is one. Whoa, stop. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Stephon Diggs is one of the best receivers. Their defense is top fucking tier. And outside of the Chiefs, they don't have a fucking roadblock. Yes, they got beat on a great game plan by the Patriots, but then did we see what happened the next time we played them? And then did we see what they did to them in the playoffs? I'm sorry. It's a division game. Most division teams split. That's how divisions work. You beat us, we beat you. You beat them, they beat you. You know this. It's a division game. You throw those out the fucking window. But they got stopped. And Davis Mills is going to make them better because we saw him play. No.
Are you forgetting that the Bills and the Patriots are like tied like week 15 playing for the division?
You're not forgetting that. And then guess what happened? The Bills said, oh, I'm sorry. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, because Mac Jones is a dump merchant. Like, he just dumps passes. Like, short route. I'm like, oh, you beat Trayvon Diggs one time? Bow. That's my longest pass of the season.
But hold on. That's based off of the game plan that Bill Belichick ran. So if Davis Mills was there and he's a rookie fucking quarterback, he's going to
Josh McDaniels would have opened up so much.
Nope. Check their record. Go to any single time that they have been in without Brady and see how their plays have gone. Check it. I'll wait. That's how they do it. They're not giving him the fucking book as a rookie. They're one of the smartest offensive organizations in the whole entire universe. This is what they do. Ryan Mallett and Cam Newton had fucking checkdowns because he has to learn to fucking play.
Yeah, but Mac Jones only threw checkdowns. That's the issue.
The way they play, they don't have Tom Brady. You can't open the full playbook. They're not opening the full playbook for fucking Davis Mills. No.
Yeah, the last time Mac Jones tried to throw above 30 yards, they just flirted in the air for Jordan Poyer to run and make this catch.
Yep, 100%.
Davis Mills throws a rocket of a football.
I'm not a Mac Jones fan.
So
I agree with you. But if you think that Bill Belichick waited and picked Mac Jones and had the chance to pick fucking Davis Mills, and if Davis Mills would have been on his team, he would have won more games and he would fucking be there.
He also picked Isaiah Wynn, Malcolm Brown, Sonny Michel, who was there simple year, but
name
after that was nothing.
Has he missed on a quarterback? Because every quarterback he gets, he trades for multiple draft picks.
He's missed on every quarterback.
Really?
Except the one time he hit a 6th rounder. And that was just by pure luck.
I mean, if you think about it, every quarterback that's played for them has been traded for multiple draft picks. None of them have started in 20 years, so how has he ever missed on them? The one that he drafted, Mac Jones, that he has started, made to the playoffs. So how has he missed? Every quarterback has been traded and got for multiple picks while he had Brady. Fuck, Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy G. There's a fucking picture where they literally were starting in the NFL. All three of them.
What about the rest of Ryan Mallett? He just got
Ryan Mallett at one point in time got traded to the Texans and started.
I thought he was released and signed.
You're right. He didn't. He started for 4 games, and what was his record with them? They were good. In 20 years, he only had Brady. In 20 years, he only had Brady.
Bro,
You can't miss.
how did the Titans? I don't see the Titans winning this division at all.
I see the Titans.
Oh yeah, so we're still talking about y'all know
the Patriots and Davis Mills. Look, the Titans aren't winning this division. It's plain and simple. The Colts look good. The Jaguars are bound to make that step. I mean, it has to happen. They already went to the AFC, the AFC Championship in very recent history. Like, people forget about that Jaguars team, man. Like, that was random as hell, but like, you can do it. Like, you can lose a bunch of games and then bam, you're in the fucking AFC Championship or the Super Bowl, like the Bengals. It happens, man. And I see the Jaguars taking a big step. If Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be that guy that they're saying he's supposed to be when he was drafted, that's going to be the winner of this division. It's just adding up. And I think, that they're going to embarrass the Colts again. The Colts are going to have that story. They're going to be on their way to the playoffs once again with Matt Ryan. And then, bam, they're upset because here comes the Jaguars again. Although they do play the Jaguars early on this year and not late when it matters. But I do think the Jags are going to be a thorn in their side for sure. For sure. Or I'd give it to the Colts straight up. But
I think the Colts too. And the only reason why is because they already have the strong running game behind that very impressive O-line. But most importantly, the way the defense is structured, they're very good on D-line, of course, anchored by DeForest Buckner, which means that you can stop Derrick Henry from gaining speed. That's whenever you look at whoever Tennessee loses, like when they lose to Pittsburgh, it's because Pittsburgh has a strong, defensive line. Colts have the same thing. They have Darius Leonard, Bobby Okereke now, because going back to his Nigerian roots. You still have him as the linebacker tandem. Darius Leonard is one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker in the NFL. They have a fairly decent secondary. I don't want to say that they're going to be like elite top 5. That's not what I'm saying at all. But at the same time, the passing threat in the division isn't as strong as other divisions either, so you don't really have to necessarily worry about that. Ryan Tannehill may not even finish the season. If Malik Willis continues on with his development, there's a good chance they're going to make that switch like week 10. You know what I mean? Especially since if you really look at it, their play styles aren't that different. Tannehill's a big, let me get out of the pocket and run kind of guy. They're a lot of read option as well. And they'll do a lot of play action, a lot of different things that will help Malik Willis' strong suit because he does have that faster element, the more explosive element, and to me, the bigger cannon. The accuracy, we'll see if that happens. But because I think Tannehill's gone after the season. They're cutting him. There's no doubt, because of cap space. And that's probably the reason why they couldn't re-sign A.J. Brown is because they just didn't have the money for him, and then obviously Henry, and then when Jeffrey Simmons comes up, so on and so forth. But besides all that, the Colts, to me, are just the most well-structured team. The Jags are going to take a step up. Their defense is very reminiscent of the days in Saxonville. Josh Allen's a monster. If Trayvon Walker lives up to the hype, he's still there. We could see I'm not saying it's going to happen. We could see a resurgence in Kayvon Chaisson. And if that happens, that's going to be a great rotation. Getting Muma and Devin Lloyd at linebacker gives you 2 young studs that I'm very high on.
Foye Oluokun.
What's up?
Foye Oluokun.
Oh, yeah, him too. Atlanta legend. And then we used to have a very intriguing DB room. I think his first name is Tyson, but I could be wrong. But Campbell at quarterback from Georgia. He is a guy that I think can develop into being that dude. CJ Henderson didn't work out. It is what it is. But I think they're a very intriguing team, to say the least. I think Travis Etienne is going to go off this year as well. But with all that being said, again, I'm taking the Colts. I think Colts win the division. Titans will take it as a wild card.
See, okay, I got you. We got that back. I agree with you on the Tannehill stuff. I don't think he's going to start. I don't think he's going to start by week 10 because Tannehill is, as long as he can game manage, I think he will be fine. I think that's going to be he's Alex Smith. Let's fucking go. It's going to be he has to turn into that. Otherwise they're fucked. And if he continues to turn the ball over at a high rate, there's no way he's going to make it to week 10. Yeah, they're going to yank his ass quickly.
Yeah. I agree with that take completely. My issue is that Tannehill mentally, we don't know where he's at. He said he had to go to therapy after the playoff loss, and now Malik Willis is here, and there's the whole controversy of mentoring him. I think instead of being a game manager, he's gonna have to try. He's gonna try and prove he's the man, and he's gonna put that ball into.
Wait, he said he had to go to therapy. He said he had to go to therapy. He said he had to go to therapy.
Yeah, he had to go like extensive.
Oh, fuck his bitch made ass. No, fuck that. Nope. Fuck him. Malik Willis, let's go. It's Willis time. I don't want him, Ronda Rousey, anybody that says they have to go to a therapy after a loss. Bitch, you play for the fucking Dolphins. Shut the fuck up. You understand how to lose. Shit. No, fuck him. Fuck him right now. I don't trust his ass at all. I get that you're trying to sow emotion, but let's stop. Stop. Motherfucker, you've lost.
Bro, you're going to get canceled so fast.
You can't cancel somebody who doesn't give a fuck. But you've lost the last, like what makes this loss different than Baltimore? And do you really think you were beating the motherfucking Chiefs or the Bills? No. Or the fucking.
You gotta admit, when Casey goes to Tennessee, some weird things happen to Patrick Mahomes.
It was one time.
It was multiple times.
We beat them in the playoffs to go to the Super Bowl.
In KC, I'm saying when y'all play in Tennessee, something happens to that man.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got your point.
They would have been number one seed.
But even if you get past us, you're not getting past the fucking Rams. Like, you can't count on Ryan Tannehill. So you going, I have to go to therapy. Why does that make it any different from any other fucking loss you've ever had in the NFL? Oh, because the Bengals went on to win, and you thought because if you didn't throw that fucking third interception that you wouldn't have. Stop it. Oh, I hate fucking.
When your defense gets 9 sacks in a game and you are the sole reason y'all lose.
Yeah. And you think you're going to go to. No. He's been the sole reason why they have lost multiple times before. He needs to look his motherfucking self in the mirror and be like, I know who I am. The fact that you had to go to therapy means you do not know who you are and you thought you were somebody you were not. He got confidence that Derrick Henry, when he was gone, is like, I'm the man. No, bitch, you're not.
It's funny.
So my problem with Jacksonville. Okay, I've been thinking this for a while, and it doesn't mean I'm 100% agreeance on this. I think they're going to take a step forward. I just don't think Trevor Lawrence is getting much better. I think Trevor Lawrence might have reached his peak.
In college?
In his career?
Yeah, I think he is at the highest high point that he will ever be. And not saying that he's not going to be a good quarterback. Him at this point is still fucking good.
All right.
Good. IQ-wise, he could probably get better because he's going to catch the speed of the game. But him at this point is still very, very good. So it's not like I'm saying he's going to suck. But how the fuck can you be the best you've ever been the whole entire career? His whole career, the best high school quarterback, the best college quarterback, since he was a freshman. And at some point in time, we've seen this with young people, they may have hit their peak early. And we've seen this. It doesn't happen as much in football because we jump around and call them a bust as soon as they don't do what we expect them to do. But when you see this a lot in sports, like he's been so good for so long, when is he gonna stop? And even like I said, even if he gets more talented, that could happen. But to me, we're besides mentally, this is the best we're gonna see him. I don't think he's gonna and I think he may be that quarterback that gets 1 or 2 opportunities, 3 opportunities to put on a great run. But this superstar stuff that we've been used to with multiple quarterbacks coming out and becoming, at some point in time, has got to fucking stop. And him being as good as he was, just in my mind's like, you might be there. You'll still be a good quarterback. You'll still be a damn good quarterback. But you may not be the superstar that everybody thinks that automatically is assuming you're going to be. So I think they're going to take a good progression, but I just think it's going to be too tough for them to make too many turnarounds. culture they have to change. And this is the second time they've changed culture in a year because they have to wash off Urban Meyer. There's still a lot of media going around for the Christian Kirk signings and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that they got to gel together. This could be the chemistry year, building year, where you start to see it. I just don't see them taking such a huge leap forward from going from 1 or 2 picks to winning the division. But I have Titans, Colts, Jags, Texans, far bottom, number 1 pick.
I don't think that's controversial at all. I fairly agree with that point when you talk about his physical aspect from his game and even so the mental part. Honestly, I still want to track like Jared Goff because if you remember his rookie season with Jeff Fisher, he came in late and it was just a disaster. He has a quarterback coach that comes in, a head coach that's quarterback friendly, offensive friendly, and Sean McVay, who develops a plan and a system that plays to his strengths. I think he's going to put up higher numbers, but I agree with his ability. We might have seen it plateau.
If you ever compare Trevor Lawrence to shitty ass Jared Goff,
I said the track of growth.
No, there's no. Jared Goff was shitty in Hard Knocks. Jared Goff is one of the shittiest, luckiest quarterbacks to ever go anywhere. Later, AC.
He was an MVP candidate. His like sixth
and you're right. You're 100% right. He was an MVP candidate, but then he got traded 2 years later for a older veteran that had been in 1 playoff game. And they had wait. And they had to give up a draft pick. You traded the younger guy that led your team to a Super Bowl 2 to 3 years earlier. Let's not even forget they didn't start him in the playoff game against Seattle.
Because he was hurt. His thumb was broken.
I don't want to fucking hear shit. They went and traded I've been saying, this is a problem that I've had. I've been saying since he was a rookie that he was garbage. I've been saying physically he has the talents, but mentally he does not. That was always been my issue. Okay. Always. Jeremy can back this shit up. When Jeremy gets his back, he'll back this shit. This is not hype. I've been literally, my immediate friend group knows him as Jared Goff. Get the fuck off the field. Because I did not call him Goff. So I've been saying this for a while. He literally lost a Super Bowl where he was down 1 good drive the whole game. The one play where we look at that they go, oh, that was a great touchdown play, a great play for the interception. If it wasn't for that, he would have scored a touchdown. No, that was one of the worst plays I've ever seen in my life. Jared Goff sucks. He is so. Please do not. If that is a Terrence Lawrence trajectory, that sounds great. You go to the Super Bowl, and then you're shitty.
I was more talking about like with a new head coach and new game plan that plays to his strengths. He's going to improve his numbers.
Listen, we could say whatever we want about Jeff Fisher, but he had the longest tenure out of any coach to never win a Super Bowl. That dude was a coach for like 20 years.
Yeah, because he took Tennessee to a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Like that prolonged it for too long.
You're 100% right, but he still made the playoffs with Vince Young his rookie year. They were not a bad team.
Not a bad team. No.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jeff Fisher, yes, he did not like to play rookies, but Jeff Fisher also saw that motherfucker sucked. Then quarterback guru came in and said, we could change the world. And he sat down with Jared Goff, and he goes, let's fucking do this. And 2 years later, he goes, check, please, bitch. Let's get the fuck out. They signed him to a $125 million contract, and 2 years later traded him. They did a KD before KD did a KD. They taught KD how you cannot trade a 26-year-old quarterback that took you to the Super Bowl 2 years earlier for a guy that's never been out of the first round and is injury prone. Granted, they won the Super Bowl, but Jared Goff sucks.
All right.
Jared Goff sucks. Jeremy, am I lying? Have I not been saying since you've met me, Jared Goff fucking sucks?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He can't figure out a cover 2 fucking defense. He cannot figure out a cover 2 defense. But Trevor Lawrence, back to Trevor. So I got the Colts. I got the Titans, Colts, all that good stuff. I think the Jaguars are on a great trajectory. I understand what you're saying, But to me, that just brings up harsh memories because it's
that hit deep.
The quarterback,
inside.
the coach made that quarterback look much better than what he was. And then when they traded him, they didn't even tell him. That's how much they disrespected him. They were like, they texted him the breakup. They were like, hey, dog, it's not you, it's me, but really it's you. So no, I hate that motherfucker. And then the fact that everybody's talking about Dan, let's just get in the NFC North because I'm gonna go on this shit too. And the fact that everybody's talking about Dan Campbell when he's got that shitty ass fucking quarterback, and we're talking about I love Dan Campbell. The Lions are gonna be better. Why? Because they lose. Stop it. I am so sick of this. Everybody gets a ribbon fucking society where we find solace in people that suck at their job. Their job is to win games and they do not win. And yet somehow, because he wants to bite ankles, we like him and think he's a great coach. Shut the fuck up. No. But yet we fire great coaches and hire, I don't fucking know, Mike McDaniel, and and now he's the next great. Motherfucker. Yeah. So NFC North, this division is very intriguing to me. Yes. What's going to happen here? Only thing I know for sure is the Lions will continue to fucking suck. That's it. That's all I know. Packers, but no, I got to get the Bears. I got to get the Bears because they bite the harder than everybody else. I would say Bears over. Okay. I would say Bears over the Lions. I don't understand. Listen, okay. Just in the history since I've been alive, I am 40 years old. They have had one of the greatest running backs in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
One of the greatest wide receivers of all time.
Absolutely.
Not at the same time. They've been riddled with shitty quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And they had a quarterback that left them and immediately won a Super Bowl the next year, and then made fun of them in an AT&T commercial. So, in my scenario, in my synopsis, how the fuck are we expecting them to be good? Why? Because Dan Campbell has great soundbite?
To me personally, it's not so much that the Lions are going to be this phenomenal team, right? Agreed. But we'll talk about that in a second. It's more the Bears have nobody, and the people that you can consider somebody, they've alienated from the front office. The biggest guy I want to bring up is Roquan Smith with that horrific contract offer that they gave him. So he's basically he's gonna get dinged up week 1 and not play again. That's how bad it's gonna be for him. Justin Fields, whatever we like about him, because I'm a fan of Justin Fields personally, but that O-line, I made the joke, they picked up the Panthers interior O-line from Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know where they picked up the Bears O-line. They were just around. You know what I mean? They literally went up to the local high school. I was like, hey, y'all look old. Come on down to, the stadium. Right? Yeah. Offensively, their wide receiver room is Darnell Mooney, a guy I like, but hasn't proven he's a true wide receiver 1 yet, and a bunch of just random guys. Obviously, N'Keal Harry, who's hurt until week 8, and who definitely busted when he was in New England. You have Brian Pringle, who's a wide receiver 3 at best. You have who else do you have? Honestly, I have Velus Jones Jr., who's a rookie, and that's kind of about it. David Montgomery's not gonna be able to have a good year because that O line is so horrible. And when you look at the D line, you have aging Robert Quinn who wants to get out, Roquan Smith who is pissed, a bunch of other players that are just around. You have some intriguing pieces in Jalen Johnson, and then obviously the rookie Jaquan Brisker. But again, they're young and they're only one dude in a position where you can exploit that position from the other side of the field, right? You can exploit CB2, the other safety, things like that. Whereas you look at the Lions, they do have better weapons on offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a surprise of last year. You got DJ Chark. You still have Jamal Williams. And O-line with Penei Sewell, who's an absolute monster. Taylor Decker, Fred Ragnow. You're able to run the football and score points more than the Bears, and you're able to – the defense is built to be able to contain teams more than the Bears. That's why I have the Lions finishing above the Bears in the division.
Both of them are going to – they're both going to suck. Just let you know. They're both going to suck, but the Lions are going to suck more. This is the issue. Name ever a time that a horrible fucking quarterback has been good. That's what Jared –
Matt Moore.
Win.
Miami.
God damn it. Okay, you got one. I can't say shit there. Yeah, that was a very good one. You pulled that out your motherfucking ass too. Who the fuck thinks of Matt Moore in Miami? My biggest issue is I just think that, and I have DeAndre Swift on one of my fantasy teams. So I'm not sold on Goff. I'm not sold on Dan Campbell. I think of the biggest problem that the Bears had was their GMs are horrible. Their front management is horrible. But maybe their new head coach new culture might win some more games. I think they're both going to be shitty. And then I can't count out Rodgers, and I don't trust Kirk Cousins. But real quick, this dude asked a question: Lions, Browns, Jaguars, Falcons. Which will be the first to win the Super Bowl? If I had to say, I would say the Browns because next year they get Deshaun Watson back. I would never say the Lions because they have sucked my whole entire life. I think they have sucked since they became a franchise, and I have trouble ever betting on any team that sucks that bad. The Jaguars are a very nice pick because they could again get they could retool and be very, very good in 3 to 4 to 5 years. But the Browns are literally set to win a Super Bowl once they get Deshaun Watson back, if he plays up to the caliber he was playing before all this shit happened. And the Falcons, they're a couple years away. They got to get a defense, a Super Bowl. So if we're picking, I would go Browns, Jaguars, Falcons, Lions, never. Yeah, that's that. So what would you say on that one?
Browns. I would go Jaguars then Browns. And here's the reason. It's not necessarily the personnel on the team, it's the situation surrounding the team. And that is the fact that the Browns are one of the toughest divisions in football, the AFC North, right? Pittsburgh's defense is still going to be elite. They just got Myles Jack, who adds to a very impressive roster already. If Kenny Pickett is somewhat average behind Najee Harris's running game, right, and if they're able to retool that O-line, they will be a borderline playoff team for a little while, right? Borderline playoff teams always seem to win against other borderline playoff teams, which is the Browns. And the Steelers have had a tremendous recent history against them. Alongside the fact you still have the Bengals in the division, you still have the Ravens in the division, so it's going to be really hard for them to get a home playoff game, which means you're going to have a team that's going to have to win 3 straight road games in order to make the Super Bowl. Not impossible by any means, more difficult in the AFC, especially the way the AFC is built right now. Deshaun Watson hasn't played a snap of truly meaningful football in about 2 years, so we don't know exactly how he's going to be. But it'll be 3, right?
Because we can count the last year he played as meaningful.
Fair. That very fair point. And exactly. And when he finally comes back, we know what he's going to be this season, like what his situation is going to be. And what if Jacoby Brissett plays well? Are you going to insert Watson right back right away? How is that even going to go? And if they play awful, then they're already out of the playoffs. Come next year, Kareem Hunt looks to be out of there. Are they going to be able to have enough money to pay Nick Chubb, considering you gave Deshaun Watson $230 million? You just lost your starting center, J.C. Tretter. You had to release him because you couldn't afford him anymore. How are you going to afford Jedrick Willis's contract? You already have Myles Garrett on big money, John Johnson on big money. You're not able to bring back Jadeveon Clowney. He's not the greatest pass rusher, but he can disrupt things, both the run and the pass game. You have a secondary that is all on rookie contracts. Greg Newsome, Grant Delpit, Greedy Williams, I think Ronnie Harrison as well. You're going to have to try to pay some of those guys. How are you going to do that? There's a lot of question marks in the air right now. Whereas if you look at Jacksonville, they do play in a softer division where they can get a home game. And if they play fairly decent enough, they could get a second seed, if maybe. But more likely a third or a fourth as division winners. Alongside the fact, again, they still have that very young roster. The way they're going about rebuilding their defense is very impressive. They're really just a stout defensive tackle away from being a top half defense in the NFL. All very young. Majority of them all are on rookie contracts. And when you look at the old line of the Jaguars, there's a lot of nice pieces. Cam Robinson at left tackle, Walker Little at right tackle. You have Brandon Sharif at guard. You have a couple interior linemen, I can't remember their names right now, that are fairly decent. So you will be able to run the football fairly effective in a division where teams are maybe stuck on a defensive line standpoint, but also can be exposed when you have small guys like James Robinson and Travis Etienne. Again, for the quarterback situation, he still has rookie deal. You can bring in players to help supplement some of those holes in his game. So I would say Jaguars first before the Browns.
Real guy said Browns because Watson will be back, but he was saying if Kenny can manage Pitt, we'll be fine. But in purgatory, once the defense starts falling off, if he ate that dude.
That's fair.
Kenny Pitt starting? Did I miss something?
No, Mitch is still a starter, but just for the future, I think he's talking about. Because realistically, it's going to be Mitch this 1 year, and then Kenny's probably going to be for the rest, if not starting halfway throughout the season.
What do you think about Mitch?
That's a tough one. I think he's a decent NFL quarterback. I think that his time in Chicago doesn't get looked at correctly because of exterior factors that weren't his fault. For example, the blocked field goal that became the double doink, right? Because he made it the first time, and then they win a playoff game. He's beloved, right? The fact that Matt Nagy's offense, whom you've seen in person, like up close in Kansas City, is horrific at times. The fact that after he won the division, instead of building more around him, they gave him less to work with. They got rid of Jordan Howard. They did not replace Kyle Long. His O-line was suspect at best. Besides Allen Robinson, who was his true wide receiver 2, was it Anthony Miller? Was it Taylor Gabriel? We're not really sure. Tariq Cohen couldn't really step up in that RB1 spot. Mike Davis, I like Mike Davis, but he's not a true RB1 either. And they still went like 8-8 that season with him missing a couple of games due to injury, right? The season after that, is that the 2020 season?
Yeah, that's
yeah. Of course, Foles comes in, wins some games, but he wins some games down the stretch as well and makes the playoffs. And he gets booted because Matt Nagy's trying to save his job, so they bring in and Ryan Pace, so they bring in Justin Fields. Goes to Buffalo, obviously doesn't play that much. He does still make some very awful decisions without a doubt. I do think that he has the potential to be an upper half quarterback. He just needs to be put in a system that plays to his strengths, and I haven't seen that yet, and I don't know if that's going to happen in Pittsburgh. That's how I feel about Mitch Trubisky.
I agree with you on a lot of stuff. I think mainly a lot of stuff that happened to him in Chicago was outside of his ability. He did take them to the playoffs twice. So he did take them to the playoffs twice. Granted, people can say what they want to say. I also think that he never really got a fair shake. I do not think because they didn't go to the playoffs the first year. They went the second year. The third year they did. The fourth year they did. He was fine. No, of course, the Bears trading up one pick to get him. But I think what hurt him more than anything was where he was drafted and who came behind him.
Yes.
Because every time you put up a stat of him, there would be a stat of Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. And when you look at their stats in his time in Chicago compared to him, his stats weren't that bad for a first 4-year quarterback. It's just you had those two going crazy.
Yeah.
And so he was consistently compared to them. Then he went to Buffalo, set behind them, which I don't know how much learning he's going to get. Like a lot of people think, sitting behind some of these quarterbacks because you've seen it happen with Jameis Winston. You've seen it happen with a couple others. Oh, yeah, we're going to sit behind them and they're going to learn. I don't think that means shit. Teddy Bridgewater sit behind multiple quarterbacks. I think it depends on who you sit behind. Jameis Winston sat behind Drew Brees. Fucking Mitch Trubisky sat behind Josh Allen. Not saying that Josh Allen is not amazing, but those are two totally different levels. Yeah. Bet on bet. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and then he goes to Pittsburgh. I think he's going to start most of the year. If I'm them, I don't start Kenny Pickett. I would just this is one of those years where, again, their defense may fall off fast. They're getting older. They got to figure out what identity they're going with. And that's kind of, and they're in a tough division. The Bengals are going to be good. The Ravens are going to be good. And we don't know what's going to happen with the Browns. We have no clue what's going to happen with them. But even then, the Ravens should return back to form, and the Bengals should still be good. So we could see an issue of week 8, week 9. You're basically out of the fucking playoffs in your division. Maybe you can catch a wild card, and then people are like, start Kenny Pickett. But why? Like, I'm firm believer in it's okay to sit somebody for a year and let them catch up to speed, let them learn mentally, rather than put them in a position where if you're not winning with an NFL quarterback that's been to the playoffs before, whatever the fuck you want to say, why do you think this rookie's going to come in and do anything? So I have no problem with the waiting, and I hate using this because not everybody's going to wait like Patrick Mahomes and become fucking Patrick Mahomes. But Carson Palmer did it behind John Kitna. We're seeing Trey Lance do it. We're seeing more quarterbacks wait a lot longer. And I'm well, Justin Herbert would have done that if they wouldn't have stabbed him in the fucking lung.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I'm completely okay with that. I think that is something. So in this scenario, if I'm the Pittsburgh, just let him sit.
Yeah, I completely agree. Obviously, I think the defense is going to be fairly decent. Obviously, you still have the reigning defensive player of the year, Alex Highsmith. That was fairly impressive in his second year in the league. You added Larry Ogunjobi right next to Cam Hayward to kind of create that defensive stout. Get DeMarvin Leal in the draft, the guy that was one time considered a top 10 pick or top 10 prospect. Cornerback is definitely a big question mark for them.
Yep.
If Minka goes down, the secondary it's over, right? So that's one thing. But you look at the Steelers right now; their O-line is horrific. Like, it's not even like ha ha ha. It's oh my lord. And why would you want to expose your young quarterback, Kenny Pickett, to an early injury? So that's why I agree with you. I think they're gonna let Mitch be the punching bag. And then obviously you don't have Ben's big contract anymore, so they can reinvest in that O-line come next offseason. Just real quick back on the Mitch Trubisky thing. You know, people always compare, right? Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Mitch Trubisky. People forget that they all made the Pro Bowl one year, right? And when they were down in Florida at Disneyland, Mitch was smoking everyone in the passing accuracy challenge, right? But what did those teams do? So that's why if Mahomes or Watson went to Chicago, I really don't think much difference would have happened. Sure, there might have been better stats, maybe a better record, but no team success. And here's why. Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson came into the league and started playing for the teams, right? What did KC and Houston do? I'll start with Houston. When Deshaun Watson started to get the ball rolling, obviously they had D-Hop already. They had Will Fuller, but they went on and got Kenny Stills and Larry Tunsil. So he secured his blind side and he gave him a third option at the receiver position. And if you look at Kansas City, they made sure to lock down Travis Kelce fairly early into Mahomes' tenure. They still had Tyreek Hill. They brought in Sammy Watkins. They drafted receivers that could play to his big arm strengths. Guys like DeMarcus Robinson, Brian Pringle, so on and so forth. True speed guys that fit him, right? They had Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz already at left and right tackle. Excellent tackles. They reinforced the interior O-lineman. And on defense, they brought in a lot of pieces. Obviously, remember the first year he started, D Ford and Justin Houston were the outside guys. They switched from a 4-3 to a 3-4, bring in Frank Clark, bring in Tyrann Mathieu from Houston, right? I really just supplied him with a lot of tools and a lot of opportunities to succeed. If you're not going to be able to get it done right now, our defense will put you in position to get it done. And we see it in the playoffs. They will go down early, defense tightens up, Mahomes uses the receivers to his strengths, come back, win. Chicago never did that for Mitch, and that's why I don't think that they would have had that success. Going back to division, I have Baltimore winning this year. There's a big question mark with Lamar Jackson and his contract situation, but here's the reason. If you look at that defense, I'm talking about defense, right? Their secondary has to be in the top 3, if not the best. You have Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters coming back. You drafted Kyle Hamilton, who can be that hybrid safety linebacker type of player. You bring in Kyle Fuller in free agency. You still have Chuck Clark on your team. You still have who's their other safety? Oh, it's gonna bug me. But he's still there. You still got Calais Campbell on the team. You bring back Michael Pierce to secure that interior. Odafe Owe from Penn State looks to be that next great outside rusher. You still have Justin Houston on the other side. Patrick Queen is there. He hasn't quite lived up to the expectations that we had for him, but he's not a scrub by any means. And that defense alone is going to be able to create turnovers, especially with Marlon Humphrey punching out the football the way he does. Combine the fact that you still have Lamar Jackson, who is the most explosive quarterback in the NFL, an offensive line whose depth is grossly underrated. And then you added Tyler Linderbaum to that room as well. Yeah, Ronnie Stanley's supposed to come back. If he can be even 80% of the player he was, you got an elite left tackle in him. And then at the receiver position, yes, you lose Marquise Hollywood Brown, but Hollywood Brown couldn't catch nothing. Let's be fair. Rashad Bateman looks to be that great receiver. And you got some other nice pieces there, Devin Duvernay as well, Tylan Wallace. A running back room that is fairly impressive, led by J.K. Dobbins. The real question is, will Greg Roman be able to construct the more revolutionized offense? And that's what's going to hold Baltimore back, is going to be the offensive play calling and play design. But from a roster standpoint, they have, to me, the best roster in the division. And when it comes to Cincinnati, who definitely improved, especially their offensive line, bringing in Tate Karras from New England, bringing in Alex Kappa from Tampa Bay, bringing in Lyle Collins from Dallas Cowboys. With those three top wide receivers, incredible wide receiver room in general. Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, Joe Burrow, a defensive line with Sam Hubbard, B.J. Hill, Joseph Osai, who's supposed to play this season, the Trey Hendrickson, right? But their secondary is still a big question mark. We don't know if Daxton Hill is that guy, and the Super Bowl hangover exists for a reason. We don't know how it's going to affect them. So that's why I'm going to put my chips on the Ravens.
I would love. I don't like the. I think the Bengals are going to take a step back. I think it's just natural. Super Bowl hangover. I also think with all of the stuff that teams are going to be ready for them. They're not sneaking up on any teams. And luck is part of the game. We all know this. Luck is, but there was a lot of luck that was involved last year. Ben going down, the Steelers regressing completely, even though the Ravens regressing, what happened with the Browns and Baker and all of them. So there was a lot of luck. And I don't want to say, I can't really 100% say the Ravens, because to me, the biggest question mark is Lamar Jackson. And I know this is such a beaten over the head take, but he needs to throw the fucking ball. I'm not saying Hollywood Brown or anything. And one of our friends is a Ravens thing, and it's not that he can't throw, and it's not that he doesn't have receivers. It's their route combinations are so fucking elementary, and I do not know if they are elementary because he can't make the reads, or if they're elementary because the offensive coordinator doesn't trust him. Those are the only two reasons why you have elementary route combinations in year 5 of a quarterback. Normally, you're opening up the book. So maybe they're scared that if they don't develop fast enough, he's going to take off and run. I have no clue. But in my opinion, for them and for him to take a realistic Super Bowl contender step forward, he's got to put up yards in the air. They've got to come out throwing. Yeah, we know last year before he got injured, he was putting up great yards, but that also was because he threw fucking 5 touchdowns against one fucking team. So, he beat the shit out of him. He's going to have those games, and everybody loves to say this and this and this. But when it gets to the playoffs, all your deficiencies come to life. And that's why he's had trouble in the fucking playoffs, because they know what to do, what route combinations you're running. They know how to take them away. They have a full 7 days to prepare for that with nothing else on their mind. So with the Ravens, I think Lamar is their biggest question mark. By now, we should not be having this conversation. And I'm tired of people going, no, he doesn't need to throw. No, you fucking do. You're a quarterback. At some point in time, you don't have to throw for 5,000 yards, but you have to have the threat of being able to throw. Your running should not be if it's your main weapon, that should still be able to open up the ability for you to throw, which is what we see multiple quarterbacks do now. A lot of quarterbacks are scrambling to get the receivers open because you can't cover for 10 seconds. A DB just can't fucking do that. So my biggest thing is they need to come out. He needs to throw the fucking football. He needs to put up stats, not just against shitty teams, and it has to be consistent. And if they do that, they are literally unstoppable. Yeah. Because on defense, their defense may be on the field multiple times, because sooner or later you're going to figure out the run game. Every team, we saw it with the Wildcat, we saw it with multiples of these things. And I don't give a fuck how big he is. Sooner or later, he's going to get hurt. He is going to get hurt from these linebacker hits that we saw. We saw it with Cam Newton. We saw it with Dak Prescott. We see it with every running quarterback. At some point in time, they get fucking hurt. Pocket presence more. If he can open up that passing game, that team is unstoppable. They're talently the best team one of the best teams. You can't do anything to stop them. Their defense is good. They don't have receivers that are going to command double teams, so you're going to have a lot of these motherfuckers open. And for the first couple games of the season, and then defenses are going to have to completely readjust, and then he hits him with his legs. If he can have that ability to do more, and he doesn't have to be as good of a thrower as Patrick Mahomes, doesn't have to be as good of a runner as he is now. He just has to have that capability, and I think they would win everything. They would be a real Super Bowl contender. But until that question mark, whether it's an offensive coordinator, whether it's him, whether it's the weapons that they have, at some point in time, he's got to throw the damn ball. Otherwise, he's not getting paid, and they're not going anywhere.
I just want to make a quick argument to that. Last year before he got hurt, the Ravens were a playoff team, if not the number one team in the AFC. When we look at consistency, that's all Lamar Jackson has been. A playoff appearance in every year he started, like all 16 games or 17, right? A two-time division winner, right? And if we break down the film of each playoff game, right? The first one wasn't a great showing against the Chargers, but the offense was not tailored to his strengths either. He was just playing on what it could work for him off Joe Flacco's offense, right? Second year, they tailor it to him. He leads the league in passing touchdowns. But they play at the playoff game. Didn't play that great, but the only reason Baltimore put up any points at all was because of him either. I remember Willie Snead and Hayden Hurst just dropping passes right in his hand. Was he throwing ducks? Most definitely. But he was also making plays as well. It was just a poor performance by the entire team and the birth of the monster Derrick Henry, right? Year after they go down to Tennessee, they win. Lamar Jackson makes some incredible plays in that game, especially the one to seal it when he gets the first down at the end. And go to Buffalo. It's a tough place to win, especially when that weather environment. And it was close for the most part until, of course, Jackson threw his first pick six in his career. It happens to everyone. But when we talk about the route tree, right? And you made a great point about that. And the question is it because he can't make the reads, or is it because Greg Roman doesn't trust him or can't make the play design? And I'm going to say the latter, and I'm going to point to these pieces of evidence for it. When Lamar Jackson was in college, he played in Death Valley against Deshaun Watson and Clemson. Clemson had one of the best or top defenses in the country, led by Brent Venables, one of the top defensive coordinators in the country, definitely the highest paid one. And he was torching Clemson, both in the air and on the ground. So he can do it. Secondly, we've seen the tape in practice of receivers running the entire route tree and him hitting them in stride. And yet we don't see that translate to the game. Even Des Bryant said so himself, a guy that was literally there, that, Greg Roman doesn't allow us to do a bunch of Mitch's 13-3 Pro Bowls, Mitch.
Yeah, I'm just going
this guy coded. But as I was saying, right, Des Bryant said it himself, Greg Roman doesn't allow Lamar Jackson to throw the route tree, even though he's been making all those throws in practice. I just think Greg Roman doesn't have confidence in himself as a play caller, and if we look at the Colts game, for example, down early, he bailed them out, right? Greg Roman, to me, has hit his plateau as a coordinator, and the lack of new ideas, new concepts, new route combination, new plays, that's the detriment of the Baltimore Ravens. But with the roster that they have and what we've already seen, that's why I'm still taking them.
You threw out a lot of stuff. That sound great until there's context behind them. You said he led the league in touchdowns. How many touchdowns did he throw that year?
I think 32.
36. That was the down year in the NFL. That was his greatest year throwing touchdowns. The next year, he threw 26. So in a down year in the NFL, he threw 36 touchdowns, led the league, and followed that up with 26. The man has never thrown for over 2,900 yards in a season. In an era where you have more quarterbacks throwing for 5,000 yards.
Yeah, but those quarterbacks can't do what he can do on the ground either.
But you're 100% right. He can. And again, I'm not saying his ground thing is not amazing, but when you get to the playoffs, that doesn't work. You cannot be one-dimensional, which he is a very one-dimensional. His run game opens up his pass. That's completely fine. But then when you go to his playoffs, which his playoffs aren't very good, he's been to the playoffs every single year, and he's 1-3. He's won one game. Where
was his energy for Peyton Manning when he didn't win a playoff game in 7 years?
Joe Burrow has won more playoff games in his one run than he's lost. Joe won 3.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill has probably won as many playoff games as Lamar Jackson in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but you also got to break down each playoff game too and understand context of those games as well, right? Because if you look at that Buffalo game, Josh Allen didn't play that great either. Like, the game was like 17-3 or something like that, or 17-10, something like that.
But Josh Allen has been great in multiple playoff games. He's had 4. Josh has not played that great in really any of them. I'm not saying he hasn't played. His running is amazing.
Yes.
But that running should not be his only issue. it's not. I can't say Greg Roman doesn't trust him himself when the team won't even pay him.
I mean, the team did offer him a big deal, but
And
the guaranteed money wasn't there.
He wants Deshaun Watson money.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Because
Cleveland messed up the quarterback market, no doubt.
They
No doubt.
They also said Mahomes messed up the quarterback market too.
Which I never understood that point because his was over 10 years, but that's whatever.
But his team does not trust him to give him what he wants. He's a MVP, former MVP, has more rushing yards than any other quarterback probably ever in the fucking history, but is an average passer. And his job is a quarterback. Yes, you can have dual threats, but at some point in time, he's got to pass the ball for 3,000 to 4,000 yards. You've got to be able to take your running, 1,000-yard running, and have 4,000-yard passings. There's no reason why in this day and age where everything is designed towards passing, he should not be able to hit 4,000 yards. And we can say Greg Roman doesn't trust himself, but then you need to get fucking rid of Greg Roman.
Well, at the same time, who has been his true wide receiver one for his time there? Like Buffalo, right? Josh Allen. Let's talk about his draft class in general, right? Baker Mayfield. I believe that year they drafted him, they signed Jarvis Landry or traded for him in that offseason, and they also brought in OBJ. What's it called? What's his name? What is his name? Who was the fourth quarterback selected in that year? Josh Allen, right? Third. Josh Allen, right? They brought in Stephon Diggs. When Sam Darnold was up in New York, they signed what's his name? Oh, it's going to elude me.
They didn't sign Corey Davis. No,
it wasn't Corey Davis because that was the year after. That was the year after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd been the year after. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, they brought in Le'Veon Bell. That's what it was. It wasn't a receiver. They brought in. At that time, we all thought number one running back in the NFL, right? Who have the Ravens on offense truly brought in to help them? Mark Ingram, Sammy Watkins. Like the Ravens haven't gone out and got that superstar.
Why do we make selective excuses for certain people that we like?
It's not selective excuses.
We would not use it. We would not use this. He is a fucking MVP.
Exactly. He was an MVP with Orlando Brown Jr. and Ronnie Stanley is the best offensive.
If we're talking about receiver room, Travis Kelce was already there. Who have the Chiefs gone out to go and get?
Sammy Watkins.
And with
Tyreek already at wide receiver one, they brought in a guy that could be a wide receiver one and wide receiver two.
The Ravens went and got Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, but that was way after.
That was 3 years later.
But the Ravens brought Sammy Watkins as a wide receiver one. KC brought Sammy Watkins as a wide receiver two. Big difference. They both brought. Well, Mark Andrews is their wide receiver one. So let's just stop. Exactly.
So they bring Sammy Watkins in as a wide receiver too. Because
if we're not playing like that, they brought in Sammy Watkins wide receiver 3. If Kelce and Hill is going to be 1 and 2.
Okay. So you're right on that. Okay, but this is my issue.
Okay.
We've seen quarterbacks that, especially elite quarterbacks, make diamonds out of shit. And look, I'm not saying Travis Kelce was not amazing. Okay. Let's see how great Tyreek Hill is this year when he goes back to an average quarterback. Because Tyreek Hill is a 6-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time Pro Bowler before Patrick Mahomes got there as a kick returner when he had Alex Smith.
Yeah.
But he's an MVP. Aaron Rodgers has thrown to 1 first-round draft pick.
Yeah, and he threw it to a first-round draft pick called Devontae Adams.
No. Was that it? Devontae Adams was a second-round draft pick.
Oh, was he second? I thought it was fourth.
Yeah, he was second. The first-round draft pick was Tavon Austin.
Tavon Austin was drafted by the Rams.
Yeah, that's the first time he's thrown to a first-round draft pick.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, again, we don't say that excuse for him, do we?
Yeah, because there's Devontae Adams, and before that, he had Randall Cobb and Greg Jennings. Was he
a first-round draft pick? Did they go and get him? They drafted him second round, and he became the shit. Yeah, but we're not saying that for Aaron Rodgers. The Packers have never brought in a wide receiver one to help him.
Yeah, because they just drafted wide receiver one.
Okay, so they tried to draft Bateman as a wide receiver one, which is going to work out. Do we say that about Tom Brady? Now, I know he's a GOAT, but do we say that about Tom Brady? They bring in Randy Moss.
Exactly.
Every other receiver that they bring in before then was shit before then, and we forget Randy Moss was at the Raiders, and everybody forgot who the fuck he was when he played for the Raiders.
Yeah.
They got him for
They also brought in Rob Gronkowski too, and
they drafted him. They drafted
that's what
him.
I said, in the draft.
Again, you can't. They're drafting people. They just haven't panned out. So when we're saying that no, they're not going out and actively getting them, I can continue to name people that have not gone out and actively gotten wide receivers or anything like that. They drafted well. The Ravens are trying to draft well. It just hasn't panned out. Could that be the quarterback, or could that be the organization?
All right, so context is needed in that situation. All right, let's look at the situations that they all walked into. When Aaron Rodgers became the starter in Green Bay, his wide receivers went from Donald Driver, legend, Greg Jennings, stud, Jordy Nelson, should have been Super Bowl MVP, right? And then Devontae Adams, right? So he already walked into a great situation. Who was the other quarterback you mentioned? Or did you mention another one, or was it just Aaron Rodgers?
No, I mentioned Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady.
So Tom Brady, right? He didn't walk into the best situation, but Deion Branch, was it Deion Branch?
Where did Deion Branch play after he left the Patriots?
Seattle.
And what did he do?
Exactly, but I say he balled out while he was there. And
You're acting like Deion Branch was good before Brady got there. Brady made Branch good. That you can't say that.
But when you look at the construction of the Patriots offense, they were still bringing in weapons for the early part of his career.
Name another receiver that they brought in.
Obviously, they brought in
Roper was shit. Edelman was shit. Amendola was shit.
Edelman was
shit before he got to the Patriots. He was shit. You didn't even know his name. You might have known his name. 90% of fucking people did not know who Julian Edelman was before he came to the Patriots. Just like nobody knew who Wells Walker was. He was a return specialist. We know who they are now because they're with the Patriots. What I'm saying is these quarterbacks are making their receivers better. Yes, Devontae Adams was a pick that became the shit, but we don't know if he wouldn't have became the shit without Aaron Rodgers. We know Lamar Jackson is not making his receivers any better, which is what
any true good talents. They're not bringing him any game-changing talents. All right, his wide receiver one is rookie year with Michael Crabtree.
Adams was a game-changing talent when they drafted him.
If they came from Fresno State,
if they would have known that, they would have drafted him higher. Because
he was lighting it up in college.
No, so we're not going to give credit to Aaron Rodgers for saying that he's an amazing quarterback. And
I'm not saying he's not an amazing quarterback. I'm just saying the Packers have actually built a good offense around him.
What do great quarterbacks do for their receivers? MVP caliber quarterbacks make their receivers better. We can go through a list of quarterbacks that have had shitty ass receivers that have become good, and then when they left, they became shitty. But at some point in time, we're going to give an excuse for Lamar Jackson's team because they have not gone out and bought a number one receiver, which it is very expensive and hard to buy a number one receiver. So because they didn't go out and buy them, but they are drafting receivers on a regular basis, and they're drafting tight ends. They just don't pan out. So they're trying. They're just not panning out.
Mark Andrews, the one stud, became
Rashad Bateman
with Lamar Jackson.
Bateman is a first round draft pick, isn't he?
And he got hurt.
So
he didn't have the opportunity to be great. And what we saw was very good.
But they're not trying. So in 3 years, if Rashad Bateman becomes an all-star and Lamar Jackson still is at the same fucking plateau that he's at now, are we still going to say that they didn't get him a good receiver?
No, but that's a completely hypothetical situation. Because we don't know if he'll be at the same spot. Rashad Bateman is to elevate the Ravens into being a Super Bowl team.
But hypothetically, they have gone and tried to give him shit. They draft receivers. They draft tight ends. Yes, they traded away Hollywood Brown, but you even said Hollywood Brown wasn't that good. So they got rid of a horrible receiver that they were going to have to pay for a great draft pick to bolster whatever they did with their line. So they're helping him. The fact that we are making an excuse for a guy that throws for 28 fucking 100 yards in an era where throwing for 4,000 is a commonality as a quarterback. He's not a fucking running back.
True, but we're looking at a market where receivers are moving left and right. Obviously, Stephon Diggs got traded. AJ Brown got traded. I'm just listening off. Hollywood Brown got traded.
Yep.
Brandon Cooks got traded.
Wait, so is the argument that he needs a wide receiver one to throw for 4,000 yards?
That's his argument. His argument is they're not trying to set him up for a round. They're not going actively and getting him a wide receiver one.
Well, the only way to counter that is Derek Carr's never had a wide receiver one, and the last 4 or 5 years he's thrown for 4,000 yards.
Are we not going to talk about the fact that his greatest statistical season ever was with Amari Cooper?
He's still not a wide receiver one.
Amari Cooper is not a wide receiver one.
He went to the Cowboys and couldn't be the one.
He was the one at the Cowboys.
He doesn't like
They traded a first rounder for him.
How many years was he there, though?
Just because they traded a first rounder for him doesn't mean he's a wide receiver one.
Their whole draft, Darren Waller is somebody that was not. They got him.
You can't be a wide receiver one and have as many drops.
Hector Renfro, Henry Ruggs, Tay Jones, and Amari Cooper, which they had Amari Cooper for 2 to 3 years, and he hasn't played for them for 4 years.
Yeah, and the one time Derek Carr makes the playoffs, well, besides obviously last season, but the one time that he was like, we all thought he was an MVP candidate was when he had Amari Cooper as his number one.
How many yards did he throw last season?
That I don't have off the record.
4,800.
If you don't mind looking up for me.
What's his highest stat? What's his highest stat year?
Isn't it the year they made the playoffs?
Last year.
Last year
Was his highest stat.
With who? Name a receiver.
On that team?
Yeah,
Zay Jones, Hunter Renfro,
and
Henry Ruggs for the early part of the season.
Which one of them did they go? And Henry Ruggs is a first-round draft pick, just like Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
So Darren Waller was picked up off of fucking waivers.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfro, where the fuck did he come from? So you have a quarterback. You have a quarterback that is not an MVP caliber quarterback that can throw for 4,800 yards, going through all the shit that the Raiders went through last year, and you're trying to tell me the reason why Lamar Jackson can't do it is because they have not tried to get him a number one receiver.
Yeah, and the Raiders just made the playoffs for like the second time in almost 10 years for the first time last year under Derek Carr. Like Lamar Jackson did it already 3 times.
They also happen to be in the same division as the Chiefs. So I mean,
they played in the same division, the AFC defending champions.
If Lamar Jackson is so good, he made the playoffs so many times. Why can't he throw for 4,000 yards?
Because he's able to run the ball for like 2,000.
But he
got 4,000 total yards. Either way, it's still going to be over.
Can you name a quarterback that has ran for over 1,000 yards that has won a Super Bowl?
Like in his career,
on a regular basis. Michael Vick, Cam. Like if we bring that up, you're gonna name a couple. All of them make it. What we're saying for him to succeed in this day and age, where throwing the football is the shit.
Yeah,
he's got to throw for 4,000 yards, and there's no way we keep making excuses for Lamar Jackson, saying that they're not trying to go out and get him a number one. Make your fucking receivers. That's what other great quarterbacks do. Tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong. Because what receiver is he gonna make? What name the guy right now that you like besides Rashad Bateman, because he's still developing because he was hurt. He got hurt. Name the guy that you're on that Ravens roster. Like, oh yeah, for sure. So you can make something out of it.
I don't know because I don't know who's on the Ravens roster. But I can tell you,
exactly.
Whoa! I can tell you multiple times if you look over multiple rosters. Okay, who on the Packers roster is going to have 1,000-yard season this year?
Romeo Doubs.
Okay, and what pick was he?
At day 3, I believe.
So not a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, but they didn't even go out and trade for a receiver. That's what I'm trying to say.
They went out and drafted one, and he might actually make it. That's what. So again, this is what teams do. Not every team goes to do the Eagles or the Cardinals in this day and age, and that's the only way you get a receiver. You draft well, and your good quarterbacks make your good receivers better.
Correct, but who have the Ravens drafted that we can say is that guy? That's what I'm saying.
But the Ravens have consistently tried to get them back end receivers because they've had other holes, and he just hasn't made them better. We can't place that on them though.
Those receivers are above average at best. At best. All right. How about this? Let's look at the last year's playoffs. All right.
Okay.
All right. So Super Bowl, Rams, Bengals. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rams, Cooper Kupp, number 1 receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They go out and they sign OBJ. They already had Robert Woods, who they traded for from Buffalo years before.
But Robert Woods is injured.
I'm just talking about the roster in general for the whole season, right? I'm just going through it all. And then they also went out and they got Deshaun Jackson as well. And he was decent for like a couple games until They had that whole hoo-hoo, and then Van Jefferson, right? Mm-hmm. You look at the other side, Jamar Chase, first-round pick. T. Higgins, he's not a first-round pick, 33 off the board, right? Because that's when the Bengals had the number 1 overall. Then you look at Tyler Boyd. I believe he was a day 2 pick as well. That's their receiver room. Let's talk about the AFC Championship game. You got KC, who has Tyreek Hill, who would have been higher had he not had off-the-field issues, right? Because if he was still at Oklahoma State and didn't go to that side college, he would have been a definite first-round pick. There's no doubt about it. There's too electric for him not to go.
No.
He literally won Bedlam with just on a punt return.
He was a kick. No punt returner is a first-round draft pick. For the first 3 years of his career, he was a fucking special teamer.
Oklahoma State was turning out
first-round draft receiver is expected to get on the field and do what Jamar Chase did. He is not who he is now. Is not who he was when he came out of college.
He would have been had he stayed at Oklahoma State.
I don't think he would have been. I still think he would have been a kick returner. I still don't think he would have been a first-round draft pick. But go ahead.
And then you have Travis Kelce, who was already an established star before Mahomes got there, right? And then you supplemented them with speedsters, Brian Pringle, Demarcus Robinson, and
name where any of them came from.
What's up?
Name where any of them.
They're all drafted. That's what I said. They were all.
Do you know where Demarcus Robinson is right now?
He's Baltimore.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Because Raiders have too many receivers on the roster.
He got beat out by a rookie. We cut him. He got beat out by a rookie, and now he's going to the Ravens. So
that's what I'm saying. Like the Ravens have a bunch of those supplementary guys. They have the Devin Duvernays, the Proches, what's it called? All those dudes.
You mentioned Demarcus Robinson like he was part of the good receiver room. He's not.
He was wide receiver 4 in a place that some teams he could be wide receiver 3.
No,
I was really at Raiders training camp. He was cooking the secondary. He was turning the corner on.
He couldn't beat out DJ Turner.
Yeah, because he's on a 1-year deal. So they decided to go with more younger staff.
So you're on a 1-year deal, so you can't beat out a fucking rookie?
But no, it's not that. It's about value. You're going to be able to develop a guy instead of having a guy for 1 year when you already have good depth.
Outside of Travis Kelce, everybody you mentioned was elevated by Patrick Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill was cooking people.
No, he was not. I'm a Chiefs fan. He was literally a special teams. He made the 6 seasons. 3 of them were special teams. He did not make a Pro Bowl as a receiver until Patrick Mahomes showed up in 2017.
If you look at his yards after catch, Hills is incredible.
No, you're 100%. But he did not have a quarterback that could bring it out in him. So if he would have kept Alex Smith, he would have never became this Tyreek Hill. That's what we're forgetting. Patrick Mahomes and him are great together because Patrick Mahomes has the ability to do that. Lamar Jackson is lacking that ability to make average receivers better. And if
your office isn't bringing in talent to have.
No, it has nothing to do with the front office bringing that in. We literally just mentioned 2 people that you don't even know who the fuck they're going to. Brian Pringle and Demarcus Robinson. Neither one of them will be starting as a wide receiver 4 on any team this year. Any team.
Pringle's wide receiver 3 right now at the Bears.
Watch that shit get knocked down. Watch.
Listen, this is what I'm saying, right?
Quarterbacks, MVP quarterbacks, make their receivers better. There are multiple teams that had shitty ass receivers that became extremely talented that we can go back and say this shit. But at that time, Mecole Hardman is going to go off this year. And people are like, oh, look at all the shit that he fucking had. But for 3 years, he was nowhere. And you're going to be like, look at the talent that the Chiefs had. He was a 2nd-round draft pick out of Georgia that anybody could fucking have. That literally, probably if he didn't run a 4.2, would be cut. But Patrick Mahomes is going to make him better. If you're telling me that MVP caliber quarterbacks do not elevate average-ass receivers based off of talent or not, I don't know what we're talking about because then having a great quarterback doesn't mean shit. There's a reason why Cooper Kupp went from being a above-average quarterback to being the Triple Crown winner because Matthew Stafford showed up over shitty-ass Jared Goff. That shit happens. Cooper Kupp.
What I'm saying is that the front office has not helped Lamar Jackson at all. Right?
Lamar Jackson has not helped his team because he is not helping develop these fucking wide receivers.
John Harbaugh was headed out the door before Lamar Jackson became a starter in the NFL.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was. He was literally on the chopping block.
Stop.
Yeah, it's been like 6 years since he won the Super Bowl when Lamar Jackson
came into the league. He was not headed anywhere.
He missed the playoffs, 5 of them.
Yeah, and you're right. Joe Flacco has missed the playoffs 1 time. They weren't headed. He wasn't getting fired. Stop.
He was literally, his contract was about to expire, and they didn't renew it until like week 16 of that season.
Just because this contract was about to expire does not mean they weren't working on shit behind the thing. He was not ever going anywhere. Never. Lamar Jackson didn't save shit.
What? Oh, come on.
Stop. I'm not saying. Look,
no.
You must think I'm hating on Lamar Jackson. I think he is a very talented individual. Yeah, I think he is a above average quarterback. But I think for him to continue to go and to grow and to get better, he needs to throw the fucking football. And for anybody that says the organization is failing them, I can turn right back around and say you're failing the organization because everybody we bring in can't do shit. You can't do shit with them besides Mark Andrews.
All right. For argument's sake, right?
Argument's sake.
Baltimore won Super Bowl in 2012, right? Beats the 49ers. It's all great, right?
Who was their leading receiver? Anquan
Boldin.
And he was a has-been at that point in time.
Oh, hell no. Anquan Boldin was a has-been in Baltimore? If he was a has-been, why did the 49ers go out and get him?
He was way past his prime. You're telling – how long did he last after that?
A fair while.
What's a fair while? First you said several.
Like 5 years. Let's take a look.
I'm pulling it up right now.
All right. So play last year with the Ravens in the Super Bowl year 2012, right? Played with San Fran 2013, 2014, 2015, Detroit 2016, Buffalo. He retired the Aussie in 2017 to continue his social justice work.
He made 837 yards, 887, 921.
Are we forgetting that Ray Rice was also the leading offense of that time? That they were a run-dominant offense?
Whoa. You said Lamar Jackson needs a number one fucking receiver. When your number one receiver is 800 fucking yards, and now you're going to say the running game with Ray Rice, which Lamar Jackson has a running game?
No, what I'm saying is that they weren't passing the football that much compared to other offenses in the NFL. But what I am saying is that when they needed to pass the football, they had him and Torrey Smith available to make big plays. That's how they beat them in Denver, was because Chad Bailey did not track the ball well. But Jacoby Jones, actually. It was Jacoby Jones. He was the one that broke through the coverage.
Flacco had one of the greatest postseasons of all time.
I agree. But let's look at Baltimore's record, right? So they win it in 2012, right? Year after that, 8-8, missed the playoffs. Year after that, 10-6, make the playoffs, lose to New England. All good, right? Whereas only in 2014. 2015, 5-11, they missed. 2016, 8-8, they missed. 2017, 9-7, they missed. I believe that was the year of the immaculate extension, right? And then the year Lamar Jackson gets drafted, let's take a look at the regular season. All right, so they win in Buffalo, lose in Cincy. Win in Denver, win in Pittsburgh, lose in Cleveland, win in Tennessee, New Orleans they lose, Carolina they lose, Pittsburgh they lose. So I believe right now they're at 4-5. Harbaugh's contract set to expire at the end of the year. Insert Lamar Jackson after the bye week. Win in Cincy, win against Oakland, win at Atlanta, lose to KC and OT, but win in Tampa, win against the Chargers, win in Cleveland in a must-win game to win the division because Pittsburgh won earlier that day against Cincinnati, and had Baltimore lost, Pittsburgh would have been in. They win over there. Lamar Jackson hits.
What you're telling me?
What's that? 6-1 in his first 7 starts, makes the playoff, wins the division.
It was made.
Saves John Harbaugh. Saves John Harbaugh's job.
You're telling me that.
Harbaugh's job.
You're telling me that if Lamar Jackson did not come in, John Harbaugh's job, he would have been let go at the end of the season?
Let go.
That's
Goodbye.
what you're saying.
Bon voyage. Toodaloo. Take care. See you next year.
5 years after winning the Super Bowl. With an aging quarterback that had been injury prone the last 2 to 3 seasons. That's what you're telling me.
What I'm telling you is that there's a reason why they didn't extend him before the season, because they weren't sure he was going to be around after the season. That's why they extended him like week 15 or so Lamar Jackson would have a steady course going forward, because Lamar Jackson saved his ass.
I don't know where we're getting this from. Because I don't remember ever once hearing that, ever saying John Harbaugh was going to get fired. I do not ever remember one iota coming out that the Ravens were going to move on from Harbaugh until Lamar Jackson came in. I don't remember anything about that. Now, I am a pothead, so my memory could be completely fucked. So, but again, Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback. He brings to the table a lot of things that other people don't. But in my opinion, if he needs to take the next level to win a Super Bowl, he's got to throw for 4,000 yards.
Fair.
And we can say the Ravens have to do a better job of surrounding him with actual talent. I could 100% agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
I can agree with that. But at the same time, Lamar Jackson has to do a better job of developing the talent they surround him with. Because most quarterbacks develop talent. You never see a great quarterback and a great receiver that did not develop a relationship together. I love Tyreek Hill. And I know I sound
mean, there is T.O. and Donovan McNabb, but that's a side.
But they had a great relationship before the offseason. Remember, they went over each other's house and were practicing. I think T.O. slept at his house for a week. So they had a very good relationship before midway through the season when T.O. started talking shit to him.
I was just saying, like, for example, like the Raiders, before obviously they went out and got Devontae Adams, they went out and traded for Antonio Brown. Obviously, it didn't work out, but I'm saying that those front offices made the effort. I just don't see that same effort from Baltimore. That's my main point.
Nothing that the Raiders did worked out in the last 3 years as far as receivers.
True. I just say they made the effort.
Derek Carr still produced. So that's kind of my problem is, yes, you can say, is it better to make a try and fucking fail horribly? Or is it better to try and not fail, but not completely succeed? Because yes, we could give them credit for trying, but all of their moves failed. Antonio Brown didn't play one game with him. So yes, we tried, but why would they even try to Martavius Bryant that they traded a couple years ago from didn't fucking do shit. Henry Ruggs was a beast, but unfortunately he fucked up his shit. Yeah. So they did draft him in the first round, but I mean at the same time they could have drafted other receivers too.
Yeah, I was very surprised at that pick, honestly. I thought they were going to Jerry Jeudy.
So at the time, we're sitting up here, we're going, yeah, this is fucking great. They drafted Henry Ruggs, but they could have got Jerry Jeudy or fucking CeeDee Lamb.
Or Justin Jefferson.
Exactly. So, I mean, did they really go out and try? That's what I'm saying when I say we're giving excuses for Lamar because we like him and we want him to succeed. When we just said Henry Ruggs was a great pickup for them, but at the same time, they fucked that one up by not drafting, which I love Henry Ruggs, but if they would have drafted CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, totally different story.
Yeah. But look at those 4 teams, right? So that was Denver Raiders, Vikings, and Cowboys, right? Yep. So the Cowboys already had Cooper and Gallup and still got Lamb to increase their wide receiver room for Dak Prescott. Then Justin Jefferson, instead of sticking with Stefanski's run system and putting a random dude at wide receiver 2 at Adam Thielen, they go out and they get Justin Jefferson to replace Stephon Diggs for Kirk Cousins, right? And then the final point, I know we've been on this for a while, right? But then Denver as well. They had Cortland Sutton at that time. I believe Tim Patrick was a rookie that year. And they still went out and got Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs. They just added to that room where Baltimore, just for my sake, I just say Baltimore. They did get Rashawn Bateman, and we're waiting to see on that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like they draft phenomenally. Like every year, every single year, they do a great job.
How are they going to get a top receiver? Are they going to trade for it?
A bunch of teams that trade for it or trade up to get one of those studs.
Do you know what you have to give up to trade up to get a receiver? You literally mentioned 3 teams that weren't in the playoffs the year before. Well, the Vikings might have been, but they were replacing Stephon Diggs. The Raiders weren't in the playoffs. The Cowboys might have been in the playoffs. I don't fucking know. The Cowboys suck. Nobody cares about them. And so I get my thing is, I get what you're saying. They could have probably in that scenario, especially a couple years ago, 2 years ago, when you had the Jalen Waddles and the Devontae Smith, they could have probably traded up instead of getting Rashad Bateman. I could see. Thank you. I'm good.
Yeah.
I kind of, after 40 minutes of debating you on this fact, I kind of get exactly what you're saying with that. We should have started with that fucking draft.
Yeah, probably. Right. And even this year, I like the selection of Hamilton and Linderbaum a lot, but you had 2 first rounders. And on the board, there was Garrett Wilson available, Drake London, Chris Olave, I'm really high on, right? And you decided.
I'm not high on any of them.
Really? Wow.
But I don't watch college football.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if the Detroit Lions can trade up for Jameson Williams, I just expected the Baltimore to kind of do something like that. But we'll have to wait and see, right?
Yeah, no, that draft, that 2 years ago draft is perfect. The Jamar Chase, the Devontae Smith, that is a perfect example of them, especially after we traded them a first-round draft pick to get Orlando Brown. So they had an extra one. In that scenario, I see exactly where you're coming from. I will give you that draft. I'm not worried about the trading, but that draft, they definitely should have packaged those 2 first-round picks and somebody else. But yeah, especially, and then even the Hollywood Brown trade. So, I mean, I can see the last 2 drafts I can definitely give you. Okay. I'll agree to disagree on this after fucking 45 minutes.
For sure. Most definitely. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay. I've actually got to get off this because I got to take my daughter to work real soon. But yeah, we will be back next week. I'm doing a fantasy draft tomorrow. I have 2 of them. I don't know if you play fantasy football. If you want to join on the podcast just to talk shit while we're doing it, you're more than welcome. I'll send you a link. Right, so AC is going to be on. I mean, I might have whoever wants to join can join, and if you want to, we could just sit there talk shit. You can make fun of my picks because I'm not very good at it, but yeah, so we can do all this fun shit. So because I have a blast debating you. You are fucking awesome.
I always love coming on this show. This has always been
you
fun.
can hit me with technical shit that makes me think, and I'm like, God damn it.
And I love it because I don't have to talk.
You haven't said a fucking word this whole damn time, Jeremy, except for you. So go ahead and tell everybody one more time where they can find you at.
All right, so my ad is right there on Twitter, MNS Today. If you like debating or just talking sports, hit me up on there. I'm always talking sports at work, at home, wherever. Always a good time. I run a sports page, midnightsportstoday.org. I have a blog on there. I write articles. I also have a YouTube channel. We're just dropping a new episode talking about Dallas Cowboys and how they're going to go about replacing Tyron Smith. So check that out. Bunch of Hawaii Warriors content. And last thing is the Warriors play tonight against Vanderbilt. So just want to say go Bows. And thanks to you both for having me on this show. It's always a fun time.
Always a pleasure. College football back. Football season will be back soon. I don't know why the fuck I got an echo. But, okay, Jeremy, whenever you're ready, take us out.
All right. Put me in, coach.
All right, you guys. Peace.